Welcome to the Enhancement Talent Podcast.
Any man with two hands has a fighting chance.
You're only half the man that I am, and I have half the brain that you do.
What?
You are a sniveling little suck-up sellout full of suffering succotash, son.
What?
I'm not ready for you. Give me a hell yeah.
We are back and better than ever. Welcome to the Enhancement Talent Podcast, wherever you may be and however you may be listening. We appreciate you stopping by. I am your host, Brock Fluker, and I am joined by Chris Kirby.
Yay! Go me.
Yes, good job.
Thank you.
Well, we'll remember to say if you enjoy what you hear today, be sure to give us a 5-star review and rating on iTunes and subscribe to us on whatever podcasting platform you prefer to. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for any clips that I decide to put up when I'm feeling ambitious. And with that being said, I don't think we have much else to really talk about before we get into Raw.
Let's do it.
And then after that, we'll get into SmackDown.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'll go home.
And I'll take a nap.
Alright, so, what's the show? Like 3 weeks away from Money in the Bank?
Is it 3 weeks from this Sunday?
I think it's 2 weeks
Or is
from
it 2 weeks from this coming Sunday?
So, but with this Raw and SmackDown, it's 3 weeks away. Essentially.
Okay.
When the shows took place.
Yeah.
So 2 more Raws, 2 more SmackDowns.
Man, that many?
Yeah, that's a lot.
It is with the crap we saw this week.
And it looks like the Money in the Bank card is pretty much set. So,
And I hate it. I like watching the qualifying matches.
oh yeah, I guess we'll get into that right away, huh? I did not like that they just announced all the guys and girls in each ladder match.
They earn it.
Yeah.
Now, even if they announced 3 of them and had a match for the last one, I would have been happy.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, just coming out and going, oh yeah, you're going to be in it, you're going to be in it.
Yeah, there's some logic holes there. As that's how Raw started with Alexa Bliss coming out, because Alexa Bliss has somehow become part of the McMahon family. I don't know how.
Maybe their pet project?
Their protege, the future McMahon.
Well, I don't know about future McMahon, but I mean, she could definitely play a future Stephanie at some point.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Yeah, she was out to announce all of the competitors first for the men's Money in the Bank match.
For Raw.
For Raw. Only the Raw competitors. And so she's in the ring. It's still called a Moment of Bliss, though, even though there's no setup.
Yeah.
It still has the stench of that show on it.
Hey, she doesn't stink.
She doesn't. That show does. And we get nicknamed to death with all of her announcements, because first she announces the monster among men, Braun Strowman. And then Braun comes out.
Yeah.
And then she announces a new nickname. The man that redefined aerial combat, Ricochet.
Well, that's because the man that Gravity Forgot's already taken.
That's true. That's Neville, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess they could have just stuck it right on Ricochet.
They could have took it from him. I mean, they own it.
Yeah, it's their thing.
But
this seems like a more sophisticated way of saying that same thing.
Well, yeah, they're just hoping that us fans are too stupid to put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah. It's a bit of a mouthful.
It really is.
The man that redefined aerial combat, Ricochet.
It's so much easier just the man that Gravity Forgot. Just use it. Neville don't need it no more.
No. Then the Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre. And then...
Which I do like that, his nickname.
It is good. All nicknames would be better if they weren't said every time someone was announcing them.
But I like the Monster Among Men. I love that one.
It's fine.
But, I mean, it does get overused.
Yeah. And then she goes to list all of the accomplishments for Baron Corbin that the ring announcer normally does, but then she says, screw it, it's Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
So, I still don't know if Alexa Bliss is a babyface or a heel.
Now, as soon as she announced these 4 guys, my note, and before a match even started with the Star, with these 4 men fighting at Money in the Bank, I see a tag match coming.
Yeah, that's a good guess.
I mean, how
and you know what they did the next night?
The same damn thing.
The same thing. Oh, there's 2 baby faces and 2 heels in here.
Exactly. Come on.
But this at least had a little bit more to it because of the rift between McIntyre and Corbin.
And the issues they both had with Strowman.
Yeah. So, at least there was just something.
Yeah, it's just...
And then Ricochet was just there.
Yeah.
Ricochet is taking the place of Finn Balor as the little person that Braun Strowman tags with normally.
Where's Nicholas?
Yeah. And also, as soon as I heard these names, my also first thought, because we didn't review last week, and I didn't even watch last week. I watched highlights.
You're a sad excuse for a podcaster.
Yeah, I know. But I watched enough highlights to know what happened.
Okay.
And so my thought on this was that we don't have any qualifying matches, and last week the newly repackaged Robert Roode beat Ricochet.
Yeah. Yet
Ricochet is in the match, and Roode is not.
Because Roode is a heel. And they can't have 3 heels.
Yeah, that's right, because he can't tag with Braun Strowman.
Yeah, you can't have a heel and face tag.
That's against the rules. Unless it's like a John Cena, Roman Reigns rivalry program.
Then anything goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in this promo, Corbin announces he's going to be a 2-time Money in the Bank winner before Ricochet butts in to inform him how he lost that Money in the Bank contract or briefcase, whatever the hell they want to call it.
But you realize 2 of the 3 or 4 people that cashed in and didn't win were in that ring.
In the ring. I was going to mention that actually because I think it's a bit of a plot hole that they're bringing up that Corbin lost, but nobody even mentions that Braun quote unquote lost. I mean, technically he didn't lose.
Technically he didn't, because he didn't technically cash it in. He put it on the line at the match.
Well, no, it was a cash in though.
Was it a cash in?
It was just a predetermined cash in.
That's right, because he made it
when it was the Hell in a Cell match against Roman that ended in a no contest.
Yeah, that's right. I thought he lost to Cena.
Who, Strowman?
Yeah. Who am I thinking of?
Corbin lost.
Okay, it was Corbin.
Well, he didn't lose to Cena, but Cena caused him to lose.
Okay, that's who it was.
When I think it was Jinder Mahal he tried to cash in on.
Yeah, I remember now. Okay, I'm with you.
What a time.
Yeah. And we thought it couldn't get worse.
Yeah. Baron Corbin cashing in on Jinder Mahal sounds pretty bad.
Yeah.
Corbin makes fun of Ricochet because he is small.
Imagine that.
Very original. We haven't seen any storylines like this in WWE before where they make fun of the little person for being small.
No, we haven't seen that in a long time. Like what? Big Cass and Daniel Bryan?
I'll give you one better. Finn Balor, when he was going to challenge Lesnar. That was the whole storyline.
Yeah.
He is small. How could he possibly do this?
Yeah, that's true.
So, Drew, because Corbin stole the win from Drew McIntyre in the triple threat match last week, because that was the whole number one contender thing, that they had 2 triple threat matches, the winner faces the winner, and Corbin pinned... Who the hell was it?
Don't ask me.
Drew hit a Claymore on whoever the third person was.
Yeah.
And Corbin threw Drew out the ring and pinned him.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I don't remember who it was. I didn't take notes.
No. We'll leave that until we
maybe one
go
of our
back.
listeners will know and they'll leave us a comment.
That's
It's
wishful thinking. But
yeah, I know.
Carry on. Drew comes in and tells Corbin that he stole his win from last week in the triple threat match and still lost that opportunity, which Corbin defends hilariously by saying AJ had more time to rest than him. He says that
Yeah, he had 2 hours.
AJ had like 2 hours to rest and I only had like 65 minutes.
Yeah. It's come on, guys.
I love, yeah, but that's good heel work.
No, I'm not saying it's not. It's just they've dumbed it down so much to where it's not even enjoyable half the time. The promos.
Right. Well, this was a long promo.
And this was a really long promo.
But I didn't mind it because I mostly liked Corbin and McIntyre in this. That it wasn't, at least for those two, it wasn't one of those promos where you say a line and then the other person waits for you to finish and then they say something. Like, Drew was actually interrupting Corbin,
Yeah.
which is good to hear. Where was I? Yeah, Corbin defended that with the AJ Styles having more time to rest, and then Corbin and McIntyre argue back and forth before Braun finally interrupts. He challenges Corbin and McIntyre to a tag match against himself and Ricochet.
But at least it was made by one of the wrestlers, not just backstage. Oh, yeah, no, made backstage during commercial break. Made official.
Yeah.
I mean,
then even when we got back from commercial, you'd still hear Cole saying, well, it was made official during the commercial break.
Well, yeah, but at least it was made, the challenge was made by a wrestler.
Yeah.
It's not just, okay, they're going to fight, and then, there's a match. That's all you know.
Yeah, I like that there was a challenge better.
Yeah, I mean, it's not much better, but...
it's still the same thing, but...
Yeah, same thing, but different.
Yeah. So we get Braun and Ricochet, the monster among men, and the man that redefined aerial combat against the Scottish psychopath and the man and everyone's favorite son, Baron Corbin.
Not my favorite son.
He's everyone's favorite son.
Not mine.
He's Ohio's favorite son, Milwaukee's favorite son. Wherever they go, he's the favorite son. Like we're the Earth rotating around him.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you want to put it like that.
This was the formula of a normal WWE tag match.
Oh, yeah.
And Ricochet got worked over forever because he is small.
Well, that's how it always is
so
when
he can't
is in the match, though.
Yeah. So he can't possibly compete with these larger men.
Oh, no.
And Corbin would drag him down with chin locks and whatever else until it finally gets to the hot tag and yada, yada, yada. And the end of this match is that Drew is setting up for the Claymore on Ricochet, and Corbin tags himself in.
Yes.
And Corbin goes for a chokeslam, but Ricochet counters out, and he tags in Braun, and then Drew ends up punching Corbin, and then that feeds into a power slam by Strowman. Tag to Ricochet, he hits a shooting star for the win.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't like...
Was that... It's not a shooting star, what?
He did this time.
Was it?
Yeah, he normally does the 630, but he did a shooting star this time.
I thought he did a 450.
No, that's Ali.
Well, okay. Wrong show.
Ricochet is the one that does the 630.
Yeah, for some reason, I was thinking he did a 450 this week. It was a late night.
I think Ali did a regular 450 on the SmackDown show.
Now that he did.
You're getting your small people confused.
Yeah, there's too many small people, man.
I know. Yeah, I didn't think they made Ricochet look particularly great in this match, even though he did get the pinfall, but what he had to do with it's not much.
No, I mean, yeah, he got the pinfall, but if it wasn't for Strowman beating everybody down.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have got nothing but beat down.
And also keep in mind, while during these shows and the next few shows, WWE philosophy for the longest time is that whoever is going to win the Money in the Bank match, they can lose. They'll pin them when they have the briefcase and leading up to when they win the briefcase. Because the logic is, well, they'll have the briefcase, so that'll make up for any losses they take.
Yeah, so
keep your counters on the people that get pinned throughout the next couple weeks.
Just based on this match, I expect Corbin or McIntyre to win, and I'm going with McIntyre.
I'm still going to ride with Corbin just because I'm stubborn, and that was my prediction a few weeks ago.
I mean, of course, we'll do our official predictions in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, I would love if Andrade won, but we'll get to him.
I mean, I can see that just because he's a newer guy. I'd like to see a new guy win.
You know what the funny thing is that one of the reports said that their goal this year is to make a new star out of the Money in the Bank winner. And I'm just like, shouldn't that be your goal every time?
Well, it shouldn't take much considering how they did it last year.
With
Ellsworth.
What was last year?
Ellsworth winning for the Carmella.
Oh, well, that wasn't last year.
Oh, no, that was year before. Yeah, it was last year.
No, because that was the first one. And Alexa Bliss won the last one.
Oh, that's right.
So that would have been 2 years. That would have been 2 years ago.
That's right, because she cashed in the same night.
Yeah.
That's right, that was 2 years ago. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'm getting old. I can't remember.
All right, so I guess we'll get to this stuff now. We had the Usos coming out, and they are singing their own theme music.
Yeah.
Into the microphones
as they are truth or something.
Yeah, but their music is playing, and they're singing to it.
Yeah.
And like their music is awesome.
Oh yeah, I like it.
Like I didn't really get the need for this. So I'm not sure if I hate it, but it seems unnecessary.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say I hate it. There was just no need for it.
Yeah.
And R-Truth, he sings his music plays, but the lyrics don't.
Yeah.
But the Usos, they do. So shut up and get to the ring.
Yeah.
Quit wasting my time.
Yeah, I don't disagree. And on commentary, they're saying something about, like, the Usos promised something we've never seen before or something.
I'm still waiting.
And they gave us a match with Gallows and Anderson, who I guess migrated over to Raw.
Yeah.
Because the Superstar Shakeup still has not ended.
Well, no, because depending on where your spouse is, you're going to get switched back to that brand, or you might get sent overseas.
Yeah, so...
Poor Alexander Wolf.
Yeah, it's a strange thing, and I really... It devalues when they actually do that show. Because...
not even do the shakeup anymore. Not like that. It's simple. You put your whole roster that you want involved in the shakeup. Put it in a computer or a lottery wheel or a ball. And just pick one, random. Except for the champions, just random. And that way it's an even, fair...
You're suggesting that they actually do it randomly?
Yeah. Why not? They've already screwed everybody over the past decade with this crap. Why not give us something new?
Well, that would make it unpredictable, at least. But
that's what they want you to believe it is anyway.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I would not split up tag teams.
Yeah.
You know, the Usos would go as one. Unless they want them to break up like Gable and Rude.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But if they're a true tag team, then no. They count as one and move on.
Okay. I mean, my main point from it, though, is just that we were just being told basically not to put any stock into what happens all the time. Like, here's the Superstar Shakeup, but...
half of them got reversed.
Yeah, but we're going to change it all in the next 2 weeks. So we have the Usos versus Gallows and Anderson.
It was a pretty good match, though.
It was fine.
For what it was.
But it followed another formula of that Gallows and Anderson took 90% of this match, and then the Usos came in with a double super kick and a splash, and that was it.
Which, now, given the rumor that, Gallows and Anderson are going to leave whenever their contract's
Whenever
up,
they can.
Given that rumor...
Unless Gallows, breaks his finger and they extend his contract by 6 months.
But, given with that, you'd think they'd let the Usos whoop up on him a little bit.
Yeah, I never liked that formula.
You're leaving? Get your ass whooped. Look what happened with Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
He was leaving. What happened to him? He got his ass whooped. Every week.
Mostly.
Well, mostly every week.
He beat EC3 that one time.
That one time, yeah.
In one of EC3's rare television appearances.
Yeah, but then he got whooped by McIntyre.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
Twice.
Was it 2 or 3?
I remember the last man standing match and the false count anywhere match.
Okay, I thought they had 3.
But they might have had another singles
Maybe it was a regular
match,
match, the first one.
Yeah. Until they had the farewell matches, then Dean started winning.
Well, that's a given.
Right? Yeah.
But, you got a dude going out the door or a team walking out the door, make them pay. Make them useful.
They're going to have to start doing that to half their roster if they go by that logic.
That's true.
Yeah, so, yeah. Usos win, super kick, splash, regular Usos stuff.
Not a bad match, but not a good match either.
Yeah. So, after the match is what we have to discuss here.
Is it?
Because
is this it?
The Usos show on the Tron a video from earlier in the day. And they're on, I guess one Uso is holding the camera and the other Uso is like, hey, check this out, yo. And they go into the bathroom.
Oh, yes. This part.
I can't believe you've forgotten about this.
I thought we were on to the other thing.
Okay. And they go into the bathroom and they point the camera over and we see Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder in towels, mind you.
Yeah.
And Dash is shaving Scott Dawson's back.
Yeah.
Which, you're laughing, but I didn't find this funny at all.
Yeah. I'm laughing. I didn't laugh when I saw it.
Okay.
Because I thought it was a severe invasion of privacy. I really did.
Well, it's just not funny.
And it really isn't. You think about it, okay, they're going to do that because they're going to be in front of millions of people.
Yeah.
That's why they do it.
Most wrestlers shave about everywhere.
Yeah. Except for the select few that, like George the Animal Steel or Killian Dane.
Yeah.
Some of the bigger guys don't.
Yeah.
But, even McIntyre does, for the most part.
Yeah. He has, his chest hair.
He has some chest hair, just like Rollins.
Yeah.
But, yeah, for the most part, everybody shaves.
Yeah.
And you can tell, because you can see the razor bumps.
And I think that's largely because nobody wants to work with a freaking bunch of hair.
And nobody wants to see it.
Yeah.
As a fan.
Yeah, it's not as good for television. It's not as good for getting in and out of holds.
Yeah. Oh, man, you're on my arm hair. You're on my back hair.
Yeah. So, this isn't news in the wrestling world.
No, it's just one of those things that we know what happens. It's just not talked about.
Yeah.
As in manscaping.
Yeah.
Which Renee made very clear that it's 2019. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. But that's the issue with this is that because the Usos are supposed to be faces here.
Yeah.
And
that's a dick move.
And all they come off of with, and they just look like bullies for no reason.
Yeah.
and Dawson and Wilder come out and they defend themselves and it just I felt like the Revival were the baby faces here because they were just like, well, that just shows how close of a team we are.
Yeah.
Because I trust Dash to do that for me and that I would do the same for him. And I just didn't get all this.
I don't think we needed to see it. To me, it was almost as stupid as the one night in Milwaukee.
Well, how it ended, at least.
Yeah, with how it ended. I mean, to me, it was just as stupid and just much as a waste of time.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody that watches wrestling pretty much knows that they shave.
Yeah.
Whether it be their arms, their pits, their chest, their back, whatever.
Yeah.
You don't need to sit there and show it on the Tron.
Yeah.
And, I mean, come on. We know they do. Look at Jinder Mahal every time he comes out. He's got razor burn on his chest.
Well, that might be something else.
Well, could be, but I always thought it was razor burn because most Indians are furrier.
Well, I think most people point to, like, the acne that Jinder Mahal has.
Yeah.
As possibly...
I guess part of that could be part of that.
As possibly a reaction to something he might or might not be taking.
And that could be.
But I don't know that.
But it could be something that he has to wear, like after he shaves. Maybe he has to put on some kind of lotion he's allergic to.
You
never know. You never know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, everybody shaves. We don't need to see it. We don't need to talk about it. And we damn sure don't need a storyline about it.
Yes. Definitely not. And then Renee is supposed to, I think she's the babyface commentator.
Yes. And you got to give her credit. I mean, she's not that great on commentary.
No.
But she sure tried to stick up for the Revival.
Yeah.
Which was really weird.
Yeah.
At the same time, it was satisfying to me.
Because her and Corey are together sticking up for the Revival.
Yeah.
And then Michael Cole is just sitting there like, well, it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it wasn't Cole.
I mean, if I laughed, it would have been a chuckle. But
I might have laughed ironically at how dumb it was.
Or something like that. But I didn't find it funny to laugh at. It was more like, are you serious?
Yeah,
this is what you're doing?
Yeah.
I mean, this is something you do back when Val Venus was around.
Yeah.
You know, back in the early 2000s. Not now. Come on.
Yeah. But,
second worst segment of the night was that part.
If you have number one, what I think you do, then I can't. We're
gonna have words.
We're gonna save it because I am going to defend it till the end of time.
Yes, I know.
But
that's why we'll do it later.
We'll keep going in chronological order.
Yeah.
Dawson and Wilder are supposed to have a match later with Hawkins and Ryder, they say.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have Miz TV with Bobby Lashley. There's no Lio Rush here.
It's so quiet. It's awesome. I enjoyed it. And I know that you could say that's wrong or that's heartless or cold or I don't care. It was quiet and peaceful.
Yeah. So,
but even lately, he hasn't even been on the mic.
No, not as much. Yeah, and you can read up all of the reports there have been with Lio Rush.
Go ahead and give a breakdown.
I'll give a little bit of one, but Lio has he's been said to have heat basically since he got there.
Yeah.
And the main reason, like, he did himself no favors at the start of his run when he got signed with NXT, because I don't know how many people remember the story, but I don't even think he made a television debut yet. And it was when Asuka beats Emma on a pay-per-view, and then like a few days later, Emma was released. You remember that whole time?
Yeah.
And so at that time, Lio Rush decided to tweet that I guess this is what happens when you truly aren't ready for Asuka.
Oh, I do remember that.
And that didn't go over well, and there were plenty of people that let him know publicly that most of them probably didn't work for the company, but a lot of former wrestlers really did not like that.
Well, no, because you're putting it out there.
Yeah, you're making fun of someone losing their job.
Well, not to say you're making the company look bad by, if you lose, you're getting fired.
And yeah, that's another way of looking at it.
When we all know wins and losses don't matter.
Yeah, I guess that's one way of looking at it too. And really, ever since then, I think Lio has had a rough time, at least in a political sort of aspect, because I think he made a lot of enemies at that point.
Well, if you open your mouth, you got to be able to accept what comes back.
Yeah. And so since then, he gets to the main roster, and the report was that he had heat because he had his wife with him at some sort of rehearsals, walkthroughs, whatever you want to call it. And the report was that Finn Balor told him that Vince probably wouldn't like that. And what actually happened and what did happen and what is reported, we don't really have any way of knowing. But we know that since then, Lio is now off TV, and
he's been taken off the Raw roster.
And he's probably going to be sent back to 205 Live or
NXT.
Whatever, or maybe even just not on TV.
Benched until his contract's up.
Yeah, and Lio has his own side of the story, which he talked to Fightful and Sean Ross Sapp about, and that's something that in itself probably won't go over well, that he even spoke about this to a wrestling website, because if you pay attention, people that are signed to WWE do not speak to quote-unquote dirt sheets.
No.
Hardly ever. And if they do, it's approved by the company.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go out on a limb and say this probably wasn't approved by the company.
I'm going to go out and say you're probably right.
And he put on blast, and for everyone's disclosure, that part of his issues are that, and where he thinks his heat might come from, is that he didn't want to do the whole the honored tradition, quote unquote, of like the rookie carrying the veterans' bags and all that.
The initiation.
Yeah, and he said that it just wouldn't be a good look for the company or himself for fans to see a young black man carrying around other people's bags and waters and all that whatnot.
And that it almost tells me he's trying to use the race card to make the company look bad.
Yeah. Because he did start off by saying it's not about race.
Well, if it's not, why would you bring it in the conversation?
Yeah.
It's not about race, but it doesn't look bad having this black boy just have holding bags of water.
Yeah, it's like it's like when you say no offense, but
yeah, as soon as you say that, you mean offense.
Yeah.
You just don't want it taken the wrong way.
I agree with that. And Lio also pointed out that he he hasn't been given any money for merch that has his catchphrases on it. Which
he may not sell any.
That's true, but what I'm thinking of is like the Bobby Lashley merch, and like I guess some of that has the Almighty on it, but it's difficult because I don't know the ins and outs of how that works and how often managers would get a portion of a merch check.
Well, you wouldn't think a manager would.
Yeah.
Because he has his own shirt.
Yeah.
So I don't see any reason why he would need part of Lashley's merch money.
Mm-hmm.
He's got his own shirt. He's got merch. If he
does Lio Rush have merch?
I figured he does. He always wears the Moth, the Man of the Hour shirt.
Okay.
So I figured that was his merch.
Yeah, I've just never seen it, so I don't know.
I've only seen it on him.
Yeah.
But that's because nobody wants it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't sell something if nobody likes you.
Yeah.
I mean, or if you're just not a big name person, you're not known, people aren't going to buy your stuff.
Mm-hmm. And even then, like, there are still going to be at least a small amount of people that buy it.
Well, yeah, but you got to look, these wrestlers only get, like 2 or 3% of the merch sales.
Yeah. And he also pointed to something that's been discussed a lot, is that he has to pay for his rental plus hotels, rental cars plus hotels for 5 days. And
now that doesn't seem right, though.
Which part?
All of it. Doesn't the company pay for some of that?
No, they pay for...
I know they pay for airfare.
Yeah, that's all they pay for.
Oh, I thought they paid for...
Unless you negotiate something else.
Okay,
but
so some of the others may have, like, their hotels paid for.
The main thing is that sometimes, like, a big star like John Cena would have his own bus.
Well, yeah. But
And
he probably owns, like, 17 of them.
yeah. But starting out, the company will send you your airplane ticket, and you're responsible for getting the rental and your hotel and everything else. So that is true, and he claims that he was not making enough to be able to really cover all of that and support his wife and 2 kids.
Well, he should have thought about that before he got in the business. I mean, no offense to him, but I mean, if you can't afford to do it, don't do it.
Well, that's part of it, though, is that you think, like, when you get to WWE, that you're going to be able to take care of all that stuff.
But you don't get paid a lot starting out.
No.
I can't remember where I saw it.
But the biggest thing is that it's because I don't know all of Leo's background, but if when he was in ROH, he wouldn't have had to pay for much travel because
they don't travel.
They don't travel. But
yeah,
with WWE, you're going all over the globe.
Yeah, you're in a new city every day.
And if you're on the bottom of the totem pole, then I can see how that can be a struggle.
But if you be like most of them did back in the old days, like the 80s and 90s, you partner with somebody, you ride with them, you stay, you hotel with them, you bunk with them. You split everything so you have money and you can't afford to do that.
And that could be part of the problem with Lio Rush is that no one wants to be with them.
Well, and that goes to the being overconfident that got him heat backstage.
Yeah.
You know, you run your mouth, people aren't going to like it.
Yeah.
And now you see what happens.
Yeah.
So maybe he should think before he speaks.
Yeah.
Next time.
I mean, and we don't know everything.
No.
But I think there's always something to be learned in that, in Leo's perspective at least, that of what he could have done differently to ingratiate himself better.
Oh, yeah. There's not much he could have done.
Because he's a young guy.
Oh, and God, yeah. He's only, what, maybe 23, 24?
Yeah, I'm sure he's around that age. Like, and so you're gonna... I'm sure there's plenty of 20-year-old wrestlers that think that they're the best in the world and that their shit don't stink or whatever.
Yeah. And
eventually you get to the tumbling parts, and then you get to the part where you're 40 and you look back and think about what an arrogant prick you were back then.
And most wrestlers nowadays will say they were.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, they were an arrogant prick, but that's when they were starting out. Now that they've grown, they realize, well, shit, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You don't get nowhere being like that.
Mm-hmm. But I really hope everything does work out for Lio, because I think he is a very good talent. We were talking off air that I even think, like, if he had the chance to be, he could be this generation's Rey Mysterio, sort of.
I could see him being the new Cruiserweight champion.
Yeah. And he could really help, similar to like an Enzo did, sort of put some sort more eyes on 205 Live.
I don't think that's the problem. The problem is that, they want everybody to watch the network, so they put all the stuff on the network.
Yeah.
But just the first 2 days of the week, every week, is 5 hours of wrestling.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. 5 hours of wrestling programming.
Yes.
You only get about an hour of wrestling in those 5.
And then on Wednesday, you have an hour for NXT.
Yeah, and then you have 205.
Yeah, Tuesday after SmackDown, you have 205 Live.
So, I mean, once you get to Wednesday after NXT, you don't want to watch something else. You've already watched 6 hours of wrestling.
Yeah.
I think they need to just cut out 205. Cut it out and separate them onto the 3 brands.
Yeah, but that's tough because almost all of them are going to do nothing on those brands.
But that just depends how they use them. You know, they thought the same thing back in the day when Rey Mysterio was just a little tyke.
Yeah, but that's different because the thing now is that there are already so many people that aren't used on the main roster as it is.
And that's true, too.
So, really what I think they should do is just...
Stop hiring?
No. We'll be realistic.
Stop hiring everybody?
But I think a good idea would be to move 205 Live into the NXT umbrella and have the recordings at Full Sail and do everything there. And because that's where they originally started the Cruiserweight Classic, was all at Full Sail.
Yeah.
And so that's sort of where the roots of that are, and you get more of an intimate setting instead of like after SmackDown crowd where half of them leave.
And the other half are just sitting there because they're so tired from sitting all day.
Yeah.
Because, well, we know how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're blinded and they can't see anyway.
Yeah. So that's a whole different discussion on how to save the cruiserweights.
I mean, I think when it comes to Rush, I think his mouth just bit off more than he could chew.
Yeah.
And now he has to choke it down.
Yeah. I think with most things, the real answer is probably somewhere in the middle. I'm sure that there is some credence to a lot of the stuff that Lio said.
Yeah.
And another thing was that the person that he claims is leaking the info about him having heat is someone that's hated him since he started in ROH. And now that person works for WWE, they're leaking that information to try to get him a bad rep.
But why would they have waited this long? You know, since he's been at NXT, and then when he got moved up to the main roster, and now all of a sudden there's an issue with this guy who didn't like him in ROH, and now he's spreading lies.
Well, it could be someone that was hired in that time.
I mean, it could be. I'm not denying that. It just seems very unlikely.
Because WWE has so many employees that there's no way we can even narrow it down to who it could be.
No, you couldn't even narrow it down if it was male or female.
Yeah. So, I don't doubt that some of those things are true. And obviously, it is a struggle from Leo's perspective to be able to afford everything on road travel and all that, but
that's why you bunk with somebody.
Yeah.
Why didn't he team up with Lashley and ride together?
Yeah,
I mean,
and he might. I don't even know that much. I haven't seen the Lio Rush ride along episode.
I've been watching, but I haven't seen it. But maybe that's because nobody wants to ride with him.
Yeah,
maybe he's just too mouthy or conceited. Nobody just wants to be around him.
Yeah,
and if that's the case, he'll be gone by SummerSlam.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't seem like they're really releasing people, but
no, but
maybe they might
hold them off TV.
Yeah,
just do live shows, make them do live shows only,
right? Because
that probably doesn't pay as much as a TV show.
No,
I don't know what the pay difference is, but I'm sure it's camera time
at least a good difference.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're...
Especially with live attendance at house shows and all that stuff being down right now.
And you look at a lot of house shows, I mean, they're only 3,000-4,000 chairs.
Yeah.
You know, it's not these big stadiums you see every week. It's little hole-in-the-wall stadiums.
Yeah.
And pavilions that they do these shows at.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, to me, it's just space filler. But I guess that's how they're going to do it.
Yeah, well, if it makes dollars, it makes sense, my friend.
According to them.
I guess we'll get into the actual sequence of this Miz TV segment.
Oh, yeah, we're actually going to keep on going.
Yeah. So, Miz, full-on babyface. I thought he was really good in this whole segment.
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley refers to himself in, is it third person? Where you... Okay. So, yes, Bobby Lashley makes fun of Miz for losing at WrestleMania. Bobby Lashley makes fun of Miz Dad. Bobby Lashley gets punched by Miz. Bobby Lashley gets chair thrown at Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley has a match with Miz.
Announced by Bobby Lashley.
Narrated by Bobby Lashley. Yeah.
The only thing good about this match was the fact that it was the first time they ever went against each other.
Miz and Lashley.
Yeah. And it was announced by Cole.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I had to write it down just to make sure I put that out there because I like it when it's the first time they go against each other.
Well, you know that's one of Vince's favorite buzzwords. It's first time ever.
Oh, trust me.
It's the first time ever, pal.
Between that and it's the only time of the year. It's the one time of year where Raw and SmackDown go head to head.
And in direct competition. Yeah.
I thought that was every week with the ratings.
So we had Miz versus Lashley, the apparent never-before-seen dream match that we have all been waiting for.
Well, never before seen, and that would have ended it there.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't much to the match, really.
No, it went a couple minutes before Shane came out to distract Miz, and he runs down to the ring, and then because Shane has control of the production crew, there was a picture of Miz Dad on the Tron.
Potato face.
Yeah, baked potato face Miz Dad.
Mr. Miz.
And this was the point where Miz just could not take it anymore, and he went to attack Shane on the apron, but Shane jumped down, and the distraction allows Bobby Lashley to hit a spear for the win.
And then a beatdown.
And then Shane beats up Miz with some punches and some help from Bobby Lashley. These were like vintage Shane punches.
Yeah.
Like, Miz is helpless on the ground, and he's still doing these fucking potato punches.
Yeah.
And then he puts him in a triangle choke. Which I will give him that this time the triangle choke looked better than when he did it at Fastlane, when he turned on him.
Oh, God.
This one actually looked like it was cinched in a little bit.
Yeah. The other one just looked like Miz was getting mad, so his face got red.
Yeah. With Shane's legs just on top of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Shane, the best in the world, all that. He has many allies with Bobby Lashley, the B Team, Elias.
Yeah. Well, we wouldn't have known about the B Team until SmackDown.
Yeah. Either way, yeah, it's the new Greenwich Posse.
Spoiler alert!
It's the new what was it? The Mean Street Posse.
The Mean Street. Posse.
I called them the Greenwich Posse first time.
No,
but it was the
Mean Street Posse.
Okay. Well, we'll get Pete Gas back in here.
God, no.
They can really have a good time with adding him to the Lashley and Elias and B Team and all that.
And then we'll get Ziggler and Kenny Dykstra back down there and start cheering them on.
Yeah. Yeah. That was about it for Shane on this show, as he's juggling with the Miz.
He's already had his 3 matches for the year. Why does he keep wrestling?
Well, it's crazy because now he has 2 feuds across 2 different shows.
Yeah. Talk about double duty.
Yeah.
Well, you know why? Because he can't let Becky show him up.
I see.
Gotta be it.
Why Becky?
Because she's got 2 title matches on the same night.
Okay. So you think Shane wants to do one against Roman and one against Miz?
Yeah.
Well, I guess that won't happen at Money in the Bank because Roman has Elias.
Yes.
Nonetheless. Miz later had an interview where he challenged Shane to a steel cage match at Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
And Shane accepted on Twitter.
Which, fine. If this is going to be the end of it, fine.
Yeah. Well, you knew Miz had to get his win back.
Oh, yeah.
And
he got his win. He won at WrestleMania.
No, he didn't.
Oh, wait. No, I thought you said McMahon.
No, Miz has to get his win back.
Yeah. Yeah, because of WrestleMania.
Yeah. So
you don't know how to land a suplex.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been just as easy to just have Miz win at WrestleMania, but that's nitpicking.
Yeah.
So we'll let Miz get his damn win, and then we'll move on from this.
Because they got to start setting stuff up for SummerSlam. SummerSlam's August?
Yeah.
We're already, once this pay-per-view happens, it'll be the middle of May.
Yeah, and then
you got to get something rolling for SummerSlam.
Well, no, we really got to get stuff going for the Saudi show in June.
Well, I thought that's already been announced. What the big deal is? It Undertaker and Goldberg is going to be there.
Yeah, I'm curious who they're going to have Goldberg work against.
Undertaker.
I mean, that would be fine.
I mean, that's what I think, but I don't know. I haven't seen anything or read anything. That's just what I'm saying.
You know, the only way that you will ever get your dream match.
I'll never get my dream match until I get a PS4 and go buy WWE 2K19.
No, but this is a real possibility, though, is that Sting just needs to talk to the Prince of Saudi Arabia. And if the Prince of Saudi Arabia tells Vince McMahon, I want to see Sting versus The Undertaker,
true.
you want to guess what Vince is going to do?
When you want it, pal.
He's gonna call up Sting and say, "Hey, pal, you want to work The Undertaker?"
Yeah.
Sure. All right, I'll see you in Jeddah.
Yeah, exactly.
And then,
excuse me?
And then Vince will just hang up and Sting's just going to be like, wait, what?
Where? Jeddah? Is that somewhere in Kentucky?
What I love, too, is that when they announced it on Twitter, WWE's Twitter page, it just says that WWE will be returning to Jeddah.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Wow.
It does not say Saudi Arabia, it just says Jeddah.
Well, there was a rumor that Backlash was going to get canceled.
Yeah, it did. And they replaced it with a pay-per-view called Stomping Grounds.
Do you know why? Did you see why?
Can I guess?
Sure.
I'm going to guess that Vince McMahon just decided that he doesn't like the name Backlash anymore.
He did not want to use the term Backlash right after
the Saudi Arabia show.
Yeah.
That's genius.
So they decided because at first they did cancel it. And then they came up and said, well, it's not canceled, it's just getting a new name.
Right.
Because Vince doesn't want to use
I didn't think of all that.
The Backlash because he's going to get enough of it from Saudi Arabia.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
I don't know how true it is, but it does make sense.
But it makes
sense.
Perfect sense.
It's funny, but it makes sense.
They should have renamed it to, like, Good PR or Happy Thoughts.
Happy Thoughts. Sponsored by the Firefly Funhouse.
Oh, my goodness. So, next we had the Viking Raiders against the Lucha House Party.
I mean, do we even have to cover this? I mean, really? Was there even a bell?
Well, we'll be quick.
Yeah, the bell rang. They hit. The bell rang.
I guess I didn't see this on the highlights I watched from last week, but I guess they had a match last week.
Yeah.
And the Viking Raiders attacked Lucha House Party.
Straight up attacked them before the bell rang. There was no match.
Okay, so this week the Luchas attacked the Vikings and the Raiders.
Well, which ones is it? Is it the Minnesota Vikings or the Oakland/LA Raiders?
Soon to be Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah. Is that this year?
Next year.
Next year. Okay.
2020? Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see how many more football teams they can fit into this team's name. Maybe soon they'll be the Viking Raider Lions or the Viking...
Don't say that because then they might say the Viking Raider Alliance. And it just comes out like you're saying Lions.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll rename them again.
Oh, you know they will. Because right now it's the Viking Raiders. So right there they have two extra names they don't need.
Yeah. The Viking and Raiders.
Yeah, so which two you gonna get rid of?
Yeah. They'll just name them the. So the Luchas attack during the Vikings entrance. The match starts, the Vikings kill them and win. It's all I have noted.
If they killed them, it wouldn't have hurt as much.
I do like that they're calling the name of their finish the Viking Experience.
Oh yeah, because they screwed up on their name.
Yeah.
So let's just let's use their name as their finisher.
Yeah. So after that, we had Alexa Bliss come out to announce the female participants, and this was the worst damn segment I have seen in a long time.
Yes.
And I do not say that lightly.
I hate to say it because Bliss was in it.
And this, it's so fascinating as to why this was bad. Because I don't know who to blame.
Well, you gotta blame creative in Vince.
That's part of it. But everybody in this promo, except Alexa Bliss, was terrible.
Yeah.
And I guess Naomi was kind of okay.
But compared to the other two, Naomi was okay.
Yes.
But still terrible.
Yeah, so I guess we'll run it down in order. She first announces, because we're back in Nickname Central, the Queen of Hearts, Natalya. And
it's kind of a given she's going to be in the match.
But Natalya comes in, she sits on the chair, because they have the chairs at the stage this time.
One chair.
It's full Moment of Bliss setup.
But yet, she already said there's...
Well, they have two chairs, right? One for Bliss.
One for Bliss.
And then Natalya comes out first, so she takes the chair.
Yeah, but there's two other people coming out.
Yeah. So Natalya takes the chair, and she says some basic shit like, I am going to win.
I'm the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, says my uncle.
Well, whatever else. And then Alexa just shuts her down and says, I actually have to announce the rest of the participants. Yeah. I didn't bring you out here so you could talk your shit, so just shut up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically. And then this is where this went from a boring Natalya and Alexa Bliss back and forth to a travesty of a segment.
Which sucks, because I was hoping it would have gone better for her.
Yeah. So, the next one is Dana Brooke, who doesn't have a nickname.
Is it me, or does she look like she lost weight? Like, in her face? She looks like her face is, like, just...
Her face looks entirely different to what it used to be. But I'm starting to get used to it now.
But, I mean, I just want to know what happened. Was there an accident?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Was it surgery?
But... that is not even close to what made this whole thing suck.
No, but the longer I distract from it, the less I got to think about it.
All right. So, we praised Dana Brooke not long ago for the stuff she did with Ronda Rousey. And
then the Battle Royal? When she got rid of... She eliminated, like, the Riot Squad?
Yeah, and she was getting cheered.
Yeah.
Like, I remember that the crowd was cheering for Dana.
Yeah.
And she was doing the whole underdog shtick.
Which worked for her.
Yes.
Well, she is the underdog.
And so she comes out here, and she must have said the word opportunity at least 10,000 times.
Yeah.
And she comes out and she says, oh, of course Natalya's here. She gets all the opportunities.
She got a point.
But I don't care. I don't need to hear that damn speak. I'm so tired of the word opportunity.
Did you look at your TV and go, this is so egregious, I don't want to hear it?
Yeah, so Dana does that, and then Alexa has to shut them up again so she can announce the next one.
Because her and Natty started bickering.
Yeah, her and Natty started bickering back and forth, and I think Dana's promo was just opportunity, opportunity, opportunity.
And I don't get no opportunity.
I can't get no opportunity. But, and Natalya gets all the opportunities, and then Naomi comes out. I don't know if she said Naomi. Did she say Naomi gets all the opportunities too?
No, I don't think so.
She didn't trash Naomi, right?
No.
So,
not really, because Naomi was on the mic, and then Bliss shut her up.
Yeah. So Naomi comes out, she cuts her promo, feel the glow, blah, blah, blah.
Still loving the feel the glow, though.
Mm.
Still loving it.
I like Naomi, so I won't say anything bad about her. But she's just... I mean, she looked like a good promo compared to the other two.
Well, compared to the other two, Ellsworth was a good promo.
Rock is a good promo compared to those two.
Well, I was just thinking Ellsworth, his main promo, you know, any man with two fists has a fighting chance.
Yeah. That's in our intro, so
yeah, I know.
It lives in infamy.
Great, we're going to put it up there with World War II when they attack Pearl Harbor.
Anyway, Naomi does her whole promo. Naomi didn't get a nickname either.
One.
Yeah.
It's Naomi.
Yeah, so then...
it's the Oos. The Mrs. Oos.
let's see, opportunity, and then Alexa tells everyone to shut up again because she has to announce the last participant.
Yes.
And you could see where this was going from a mile away.
Oh, yeah, I saw it coming.
And she announces herself as the final participant in the match.
But the way she did it, just so, like she was getting ready to bring someone out. And, and then goes, me!
Yep. And then Dana Brooke goes off again on, like, some... I want to watch this segment again just to see how bad it actually was in hindsight.
You do that at your own time. I ain't watching that crap again.
But I think one of the things she called Alexa Bliss was the Opportunity Queen.
Probably.
Just the word opportunity.
It was
like
extremely.
The amount of times I've said it in the last 2 minutes
doesn't cover how
probably isn't as much as Dana Brooke said it
in 30 seconds.
I hate that, and like I feel like WWE knows that I don't like that word because it's one of those things like it's just so patronizing to a fan.
Yeah,
to hear like, oh well, I don't get an opportunity. The opportunity is to go win matches. Isn't that supposed to be what this is all about? That this is a proposed to be essence of a combat sports, and that the wins and losses are what matters. Not I didn't get this opportunity. I was not gifted this chance at a title or a shot at a title.
You must be thinking of AEW. Where the wins and losses will matter.
Hopefully.
Because, I mean, just going by what you said, okay, you win matches to get an opportunity, but wins and losses don't matter.
Yes.
So whether you win or lose, you're not going to get no opportunity.
I mean, we already covered how Robert Roode beat Ricochet last week.
Yeah.
And Ricochet was announced for the ladder match, and Roode wasn't even on the damn show this week.
Yeah. So why couldn't Roode and Ricochet have a match to find out who goes in?
Yeah. And this whole segment was just infuriating.
It was horrible. It was hard to watch.
I don't know what Dana Brooke's deal was, if that she didn't know or forgot her lines, or if this
was sucked in too much, man. It, like, sucked her brain out.
Or if this was actually what was written for them to say.
If this was what was written, we need to break our shit. Because anything we do will be better than saying opportunity. Yeah. Oh, hey, and opportunity.
I think part of the problem might be that they don't have any female writers.
Well, they just hired one that I know of.
And that, like, with all the guys writing it, I think that they perhaps unintentionally make a lot of female promos sound patronizing. And how everything's about friendship, opportunity, spirit of competition.
And
instead of I'm gonna kick your ass.
And that could be maybe they need women writers to write for the women.
Yeah,
just like they have a woman ref in the NXT for the women's matches.
And like there can be a mix of everything. Like you can get all sorts of opinions in there. But
of course.
But that's what made Becky stand out so much, and why people really grew to her and caught on to her, was because she stood out from every other cardboard cutouts, pull on a string promo that everyone else seems to be, with the exceptions of like Alexa Bliss and maybe some other ones I'm not thinking of right now, but that's really the only one that comes to mind.
Yeah.
And even Alexa, like Alexa is still, even though she's a good promo, she's a chicken shit heel.
Mm-hmm.
So you never get the good protagonist to that.
Yeah.
Because their promos are what Dana Brooke sounds like.
Yeah.
And except in the case of like Ronda Rousey too. And even at times she fell into that, but when Ronda went into intense mode, that was different.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
Can I end now, or do you have anything else to end?
Keep it going, please. Let's go. Move on. We're like 3 hours into a 2-hour show.
We're only an hour in, so we'll be fine.
And we still got a show and a half to do.
And actually, I forgot to recap the rest of this because Naomi ends up challenging Alexa Bliss to a match. Alexa Bliss says that she doesn't have her gear on and she doesn't want to, and Naomi insulted her in some way. I forget how.
It was something to do with her shoes. Like, she didn't have the right shoes, and Naomi said, I'll beat you with or without your shoes.
Oh, that's right. And she said that I could beat you with no shoes or something.
And I took that as Naomi wasn't going to wear shoes.
Yeah.
I didn't know that she meant that she was going to beat Bliss whether Bliss was wearing shoes or not.
Yeah. So
it's just the way she worded it wrong.
And so in between this, there was a segment, but I'll go through the Naomi and Alexa match first, just so we get that out of the way.
Oh, there was that so-called match.
Yeah, and the whole thing was Alexa was wearing her like flat shoes, like Converse or whatever.
Yeah, like Chuck Taylor's.
Yeah, like
and they
I guess
they tied.
Yeah, and so at the beginning of the match, they're untied. And so Alexa tries to tie them, and Naomi was a dick and didn't let her tie them.
Pull the heel move on her.
And this would have been a good thing to do if Alexa ended up getting the heat out of it by using that as a diversion. Easy for me to say. That like she goes to tie her shoes and then attacks Naomi unexpectedly.
Waits for her to come in and then...
But instead it just made Naomi look like a dick.
Yeah, it's like, okay. So she's trying to tie her shoe, you gonna kick her in the hamstring?
Yeah, and so they go Naomi takes the offense early, but then when Alexa finally gets her down, she ties her shoes and it was hilarious to me though, because as Alexa is about to tie her shoes, the ref says, "Hey, your shoe's untied."
Yeah, I know.
And Alexa just yells back at her, "I know!" and finally ties them.
I love how she gets vocal with the ref.
Yeah.
Not just there, but all the time.
Yes. She's very good at what she does.
Yes.
I will always give her credit.
Now, I don't know if this was intentional with the shoes not staying tied.
I'm sure that this is what they probably built the match around.
I'm sure part of it was, if you tie it, tie it loose so they come off.
I thought they were going to do like the Eddie Guerrero finish here with Alexa.
Really?
Yeah, like I think it was a WrestleMania match with Kurt Angle where he like intentionally unties his shoes.
Yeah.
So that when Ankle puts on the ankle lock, he slips out and he gets the inside cradle and pins him on the roll up. I thought that was what they were going to end up going for here, but instead the match finished because Alexa's shoes end up coming off during this match.
Well, I don't know if she was going for like a figure 4 or something like that, but she had both her legs and then just her feet just fell out.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay.
And so Alexa tries to gather her shoes, and this is where I thought like she'd distract the ref and hit Naomi with one of her shoes.
Yeah.
And but instead the distraction allows for Naomi to hit a rear view followed by a split leg moonsault for the win.
That was a big rear view too.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, every rear view is a big rear view.
Well, that's true. But I mean, compared to others, that was a pretty good hit.
Yeah. So I didn't really care for the structure of that because it didn't get the heat in the right place.
In any place, really.
It was a good idea. It just wasn't executed properly.
Yeah. I mean, they should have done something besides the shoes, or fine, you want my shoes off, they're off.
Or just do it differently to have Alexa still be the heel.
Yes, because this
have it turn out that like she wasn't even having any trouble with her shoes at all. It was just a distraction.
Yeah, that would have been perfect. But no, they made her a babyface heel.
Yeah, like the old thing with like the old school heel thing was like probably like back in like the 70s or 60s was just like sometimes the heel would go to take his jacket off.
Yeah.
And like the zipper would get stuck, and like the ref would be trying to ring the bell, and he's like, my zipper's stuck, and he's trying to pull it off. And then, you know, the baby face just like laughs and goes to the crowd with his arms out, like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And that's when the heel comes up and attacks him, and then just calmly unzips the jackets.
And then the bell rings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sort of thing would have worked.
Yeah, but that's back when wrestling was more real to watch.
Yeah. That was presented that way.
Yeah, it's not. Now it's presented to be fake.
Yes.
And I hate saying the F word.
Yeah.
But
you're not wrong.
It's presented to be fake.
It's stagey and all
It's
that.
not even a scripted soap opera anymore. It's a fake soap opera.
All right. So, I've been waiting to talk about this one.
Oh, yeah. I'm waiting to talk about the end of it.
Because this took place... It was weird how they structured this, is because this actually aired in between Naomi challenging Alexa and the match actually starting.
Yeah.
And we got the second Firefly Funhouse vignettes. And we were not here for the last one, the debut. So, I have noted the whole first one and the whole second one.
Oh, God.
So, we're going to go through it. Me and Chris already disagree on everything regarding this.
Except for the fact that I'm glad Bray's in it. Just because he has TV time.
But Chris does not like it. I do love it. So we couldn't be farther apart. I don't know. Well, we don't know exactly why yet. Like, we haven't discussed it in as much depth as we're about to.
We haven't really seen each other for the past couple weeks, really.
Yeah. So, we'll get to the first one, which debuted last week.
Didn't like it.
Which saw Bray Wyatt in a Mr. Rogers Blues Clues.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Mr. Rogers meets Blues Clues.
Yeah, and some Pee Wee Herman in there.
Maybe some Pee Wee.
And a parody sort of show. Like a children's show. It has like the backdrop of like the backtrack rather of like the children laughing and like booing and all that at certain points. So
props to production for hitting the play button.
Yeah. So, and this was shocking, really, but there were so many layers to everything in here, and that is why I'm going to talk about all of them and why I liked it so much, because Bray was phenomenal in these, and there were so many subtle things and just a lot to dig your teeth into and just speculate about. And so we'll go right at the beginning. He comes in, he does the goofy introduction to this whole show, and he puts his hands over his face like a peekaboo thing.
Yeah.
But he has gloves on. And one of his gloves says hurts, and one says heal.
Mm-hmm.
As in H-E-E or H-E-A-L, like heal a wound, and not like a heal in a wrestling sense. And so he introduces these characters. He introduces Mercy the Buzzard, which is the sock puppet bird raptor thing. And
comes out of the box.
Yeah, he comes out of the box. And Abby the Witch, who was the doll in one of the vignettes leading up to this.
Yes.
And so, and Abby is an important name there because Abigail.
Sister Abigail.
And so, Bray explains here that he used to be a very bad man. And that's when, the kids are like, oh, boo, and all that. But then he also says that he has been barbarically punished for all of his wrongdoings. And I think the kids like cheered there. And so that starts the discussion of like, what does he mean by barbarically punished? And that sort of whole string of events that he could be talking about. And he says that part of him is dead now. But he says that he keeps a reminder of his past self so that he'll never go back to that. And that being a cardboard cutout of his old Wyatt family self, that whole attire and all that. And
that's when he got the chainsaw.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yes.
Okay.
But here's another thing, is that Bray, before he gets the chainsaw, he puts his hand to his ear as if like he's taking a phone call, but he doesn't have a phone, he just has his hand.
Yeah.
And it's something I've listened to a few reviews on this, and I didn't see anyone pick up that he puts his hand to his ear, and it's the glove that says hurt. So it's like he's listening to that, and that's when he gets the chainsaw, and he cuts the head off of the cardboard cutout, all the while maniacally sort of laughing. And that part was like the psychotic sort of part of the character, that whole laughing with the chainsaw, and that went on for like a good few seconds, just him laughing.
Yeah, a little too long.
Yeah, and then the closing line for the first and second one was when he says, remember, Fireflies, I'll always light the way. All you have to do is let me in.
Well, at least he didn't say all you have to do is believe.
Yeah. So, and that kind of alludes to the sort of cult leader sort of thing that he was at one point, that all you have to do is let me in. And so I dug all of that, and I thought it really was just an interesting and deep sort of way to start this character. Now,
I think they shouldn't have started that character.
So, give me some reasons you don't like it.
One, we don't need a Mr. Rogers wannabe in WWE. We don't need it. We've got enough crappy characters that we don't need anymore. We need real characters. Somebody that can...
Well, this is a character.
But it's not a real one. Not a real good one, anyway.
But that's one of the complaints that I think even we've had, is that there aren't enough characters.
Everybody's a character.
And this is different from anything that we've had in a while.
Yeah, because this is so bad, we don't want to see it for a while. Of course, that's just my opinion.
Okay.
I'm not saying that's how you feel.
No.
Or these people listening on here, listening.
Yeah.
Just saying that's how I feel.
And that's the great thing about this, is that I think it's very... it's one of those things that half the people love it and half the people hate it.
And we're going to cover both sides.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Now, if we only had people to listen to hear it. I don't know. It might be the fact that I'm used to Bray the way he was. Not just as the Wyatt family, but when he teamed with Hardy.
Yeah.
He was... But once he left, and for no reason, they never used him. And now he comes back as a Mr. Rogers reject.
That's the beautiful thing about it, though, to me, is that he's putting on the face of a Mr. Rogers, but inside he is, as we'll talk about in the second one, a sociopath.
Well, just because the episode is sponsored by the word sociopath. No, but I mean, if they keep it going in this direction, yeah, it might turn some people onto it that feel like I do now.
Yeah.
I guess I want a real character. I want somebody I can actually get behind and not laugh at.
Okay.
I can't sit there and go, oh yeah, I'm going to root for this guy because he can spell. I know that the puppets and everything has stuff to do with it. I know that. And, we talked about the Abby the Witch off air.
Mm-hmm.
But it just seems like they're trying to make it too kid-oriented.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I know it's a family show now. Great. But once it goes to Fox, they don't want all this family crap. They want something a little edgier.
And that's another thing, is that we don't know if it's a Raw or SmackDown thing, because it's airing on both shows.
And I haven't seen which way he's been placed. I don't know.
Yeah, they probably don't know.
Yeah, they probably don't know until... Well, let's see who's going to get better ratings during that segment.
But it was interesting, too, because the report after this was that WWE got pushback from this from stockholders, because they didn't like the idea of having a cult leader that is essentially like targeting kids to
I didn't think about that, but
follow him in that way.
I see it.
Yeah.
From their point of view.
But and normally I feel like when something like that happens, when the money talks, when stockholders, sponsors, whoever else that is feeding Vince McMahon and his empire money, Saudi Arabia, he's going to listen.
Oh, yeah.
But in this case, they've stuck to their guns on this one, and they're pushing forward with it.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, now that I'm thinking about it like that, it makes sense. Why would you want that on TV? I mean, we got enough issues with our youth nowadays. They can't even write in cursive or read an analog clock. So why do we want to, have them addressed by a cult leader?
Yeah, and that's a valid point. And obviously, for me, I'm 23 years old. I don't have any kids. I don't think of things in that regard.
I'm 38 with 2 boys. So it's one of those things where I can see the parents' perspective.
Yeah.
And now, when I was your age, no, I would have never saw it.
Yeah.
But now that I'm older than dirt, I can see it.
Yeah. So, we'll see, because there's... Don't get me wrong. This could go horribly wrong. And because, there's a lot of ways that they could really mess this up. And... because that's part of what I'm worried about, because I don't know how you make the gimmick work in the ring. That's part of my worry with it, and hopefully they have a plan.
Is the gobbledygooker going to come in dressed like one of them?
Yeah. So, because these vignettes, they can put them together and they can structure them the way they want, but then when you actually get Bray in the live audience with this sort of character, it's something that will have to be carefully thought about of how to approach that.
I don't even know how they would approach it, just off the top of my head.
Yeah. I
mean, successfully, I don't see how.
I mean, the basic way is just that, you go the Festus sort of routes. Once he gets in the ring, he changes his character from that to the old Bray.
But I don't know.
But then that's then what's the point, really?
Yeah, what's the point of even doing this whole Funhouse stuff?
Yeah, so it has to be something unique.
And obviously, we don't know. We don't know the whole story. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll change my mind on it.
I'm sure you will keep an open mind about this.
When it comes to wrestling, I bitch and moan a lot. But I keep an open mind. Even though I disagree with it right now, I'll keep an open mind, because I don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah. That's part of the thing, is that we only see A, B, and C right now, that they haven't gotten to X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
So we have to wait and judge as we see it.
I just hope they don't take too long to do something with it.
That is another thing, because
this is 2 weeks now.
They could do this for months.
Well, look what they did with Emelina.
Yeah.
What was it, 5 months, 4 months of videos?
Yep.
Just to come out and go, no.
Actually, I'm not Emelina.
Yeah.
Turns out I lied.
So, I mean, if they play it out too much, it's going to do nothing but hurt him.
Yes, I agree with that.
To the point where he could be like Emma. And once that happens, you took too long, you just ain't got nothing.
Yeah.
It's time for you to bump. Just get out.
And in the second one that aired this week, this was another telling one because we have Bray painting a picture.
Yeah.
And he says right away here that it helps, painting helps to express his suppressed feelings. And I think the line after that was like, when you express yourself, no one can truly hurt you.
Yeah. Now, before we saw the painting, I was like, okay, we're going to see Sister Abigail.
Mm.
Because you didn't see really much of anything in the first one. You know, like him painting or anything.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, great, we're going to see Sister Abigail. That was what the whole issue was, the whole spiel, his first run, was Sister Abigail.
Yeah.
And we didn't. Totally.
We did in a way.
We didn't.
Totally. And I'm going to talk about that when we get to this in a second. But we get introduced here to Rambling Rabbit, who is a rabbit, but not a real rabbit, like a puppet sort of rabbit.
Corey Graves.
But the thing I've taken away from this is that I think these characters he has, Mercy, Abby, and Rambling Rabbit, I think all of them are an expression of part of himself. Like the Rambling Rabbits, what I think of is back when his character got old and people started groaning about it, that it was the same thing. He'd cut the spooky promo on the Tron and then he'd lose.
Yeah.
And that was just it. And that his promos became rambling because they were saying, he was talking the talk, but couldn't back it up.
Yeah.
So people could see it as rambling because they don't buy what he's saying.
It makes it seem like you're telling me he's got multiple personalities.
Yeah, I think that could be part of the character.
But and if that's how they're going to play it, great. But they need to do something with it and get off of this kid show. Because I understand how the first week, but if you're going to do multiple personalities, switch it up. You know, one week you're in a playhouse, in the Firefly Playhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Next week you're in some abandoned boiler room looking for Abby the Witch.
Okay.
You know, something like that. Switch it up. Look for your personalities.
Yeah.
You can't have all of them in one room.
Right.
If that's how they're going to do it.
Right. And I'm just speculating on that. So.
Oh, yeah, of course.
We're
just guessing. That's all we're doing.
Yeah. And like it or not, I do think that is part of the good, is that it leaves room for speculation. And we can just... It gives us something to talk about.
And I hope I'm wrong. I hope it turned out to be good.
Which I don't think is something that really a lot of WWE has given us, is just something to talk about.
Not really. I mean, the only thing they've really given us is the race issue between Vince and Kofi.
Yeah, and that was more of a for the wrong reason sort of,
and that was
something to talk
for
about.
The storyline.
Yeah, and so Bray shows his painting, and it's of a burning house, and in the window or the door or whatever it is,
window,
that you can see someone in there like screaming for help and all that, and what it was, because I even went back and watched this, because it was when Randy Orton burned down the Wyatt family compound thing.
Yeah,
and that is where it was said that the spirit of Sister Abigail was, that like underneath the grounds that the house is on is where she was buried.
Yeah.
So that's where her spirit lies, is in that house. And so he burned the house down and burned the spirit of Sister Abigail and all that, Jubbins, all that. And he's showing this like horrifying painted picture, but he's just like laughing about it and hangs it on the wall.
Yeah. Now, I mean, the first, as soon as I saw it, that's the person that popped in my head. It was Randy Orton burning down the compound.
Yeah. And the house even looks like similar to what it was in the...
I mean, it's not hard to make a shack.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got one door and one window.
Yeah.
But, yeah. it was very similar.
And so that's when Abby the Witch comes in. And Abby, I think, is voiced by Bray, it sounds like.
Yeah.
With like some voiceover effects. But it sounds like it's him. And she tells Bray that he hasn't learned anything. He hasn't learned his lesson from last time, and all this other stuff about he's turning into the same person he was. And Bray, I think he mentioned how. No, it was like he said. He asked the kids if they forgive him, and they were all like, "Yeah." And then after that, Abby was just like, "Fine, just be quiet while I'm trying to get my beauty rest." That doll needs a lot of beauty rest.
I still don't like it.
I can understand.
And it might just be the way I'm looking at wrestling now. You know, it's because I'm looking at it like I want it to be like it used to be.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at it as it's a new era, things change, characters change. No, go back to what worked. And don't.
I think it's somewhere in the middle. Is that there are things that worked back then, that can still work. There's also things that worked back then that won't work now.
That's true. And if that's what they're doing, great. But I don't. And it might just be the segment, just the fun house.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, but I see that. I see a wrestler like Bray Wyatt, and then the words "fun house." Unless it's a haunted, scary fun house, he should not be in there.
Well, that's part of like the whole irony of it, and that
I want to be entertained, and I just don't find it entertaining.
Okay.
To each his own.
Yeah.
I mean, we know you like it. We know I don't.
Yeah.
So time will tell if you switch your opinion or I switch mine.
I like it for now.
Yeah, and I hate it probably forever.
And so Bray comes back over to his painting, and he says that Abby is a bit of a sociopath.
Yeah.
And that's when I started taking from this that that's really the moments that I really thought that all of the doll and the puppets and all that are an extension of Bray when he said that.
Okay.
Because that's him saying that he is a sociopath, essentially.
Yeah.
Or at least part of him.
Which we already knew.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if we watch Bray Wyatt, you already know.
Yeah. And so that's when Rambling Rabbit comes in and he says, "Isn't that like the word of the day or something?"
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so we had the Pee Wee Herman thing with the word of the day.
And you know what's disappointing about this whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he hasn't been on TV for 6 months and this is what they come up with.
It's different.
In 6 months, this is what they have to put him on TV.
But I don't even think that this is what they have. I feel like this is all Bray's idea.
I don't know.
Or at least, I can tell by watching it that Bray has a lot of influence in it.
Now,
if nothing else.
There was a picture of Bray Wyatt talking to The Undertaker. And the caption was that they were working on this new persona. Whether it is or not, don't know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it is kind of twisted the way Bray Wyatt would be.
Mm-hmm.
But The Undertaker, he knows so much. I mean, he knows how to do the dark stuff. He can tell you everything you want to know. But if they colluded on this and this is what they came up with, I'm very disappointed if The Undertaker was part of this mess.
Yeah. I have no idea if Undertaker actually was.
There's no telling. That was just a picture with a caption.
Yeah. I definitely think that Bray has had a lot of influence in it because it seems like his sort of thing.
Well,
and
it seems like it did when he first debuted.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much the same, just different.
But it doesn't feel like something he's handed a script
on. No, it doesn't feel like the rest of Raw.
And I think anything when you add that touch has a lot more potential when you're giving the performer more leeway.
Yeah. And, I mean, they used to back in the day. They don't do that very much anymore.
No.
I understand.
We can go back to that women's promo earlier to see that.
Yeah. God almighty. No, we don't want to go back there. No.
Will you take this over that promo?
I think I'm going to quit watching wrestling, guys, and gouge my eyes out and learn to read Braille.
All right, and
can we just move to the next match?
There was one more thing that Bray closes again with the whole I'll light the way, all you have to do is let me in, but this time
Fucking creeper, man.
But this time it was a whole lot more creepy when he said it this time than the first time, because he says I'll light the way and all you have to do, and then he pauses and gets like a sinister sort of look and he says, "It's let me in."
Yeah.
And then he stays in that face for a second, and then he goes right back to his happy Mr. Rogers face, waving goodbye.
Yeah.
I dug that.
They just need to hurry up with this, because I don't like not knowing whether I should hate it or like it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to waste my emotion on something when I don't know what I should be wasting. I'll waste my hatred on it if I know I'm supposed to hate it.
Yeah, that's another thing. I feel like this is going to be a heel thing, but I don't really know.
I don't know, because, he was healed and he turned face with Hardy and then he was gone because Hardy was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to bring him back a heel? Did we need another heel? I don't think so. I think we could use another face.
Yeah. I don't know. This could be one of those in the middle things.
Oh my gosh. Jeff is out with an injury. Matt's not doing nothing. Let's team them up again.
If they go right back to that, then
that would be funny though.
It would be kind of funny, but
you win the championship at what, Mania, the tag belts. Is that when they won them, or was it after?
The SmackDown after? I think.
That's right. It was the SmackDown after, and then you lose them 2 weeks later without defending them, and then you just later, bro. I'm gonna go back to this dude.
I'll see you when you get back.
See you in 6 to 9 months, dog.
Yeah. So. My last note was just that I was curious if they showed this to the live crowd or not, because it transitions right into Naomi's music playing and both of them in the ring, her and Alexa. So I don't know if the crowd saw this or not. Because on SmackDown, they show the crowd watching the segment.
Yeah.
But on Raw, they just show the segment.
And I'm thinking that Raw is going to be a lot like WrestleMania was for us, where they're listening to intro music for 7 minutes on loop.
That could be. They could have been listening to Naomi's music.
Oh God, that would be
minutes.
so annoying. Could you imagine how many times you're going to hear it's amazing?
I'm amazing.
And that's all you're going to hear is over and over. I'm amazing. I'm amazing. Did you know I'm amazing? Yeah.
So,
I feel sorry for that crowd if that's what happened.
All I'll leave it with is that if you didn't watch either of these segments,
You
then
didn't miss nothing.
shut up. But God, I hate you. Just watch them for yourself. Don't just rely on siding with me or Chris.
No.
And form and see what you think of
Form
it.
your own opinion and let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Let us know if you think Brock's right or if you think I'm right. Is it stupid or is it entertaining? Or is it entertainingly stupid?
My whole point, I don't even think it's like an entertainment thing. I just think it's fascinating. I mean, that there's.
You know what fascinating means?
There's so many.
Is it literally fascinating?
No, there's just so many layers, like an onion, to peel through this.
Okay, and I just don't want to peel because I don't want to cry about it.
After that, there was the Alexa Naomi match.
Oh yeah,
and then we have Becky Two Belts in the ring.
Oh yeah,
for an interview with Charlie Caruso.
Which I'm getting tired of seeing it.
Yeah, well, what, Charlie?
No. Don't get me wrong, I love Becky. I'm just tired of seeing the same promo every week.
Yeah.
Becky 2 belts. I'm going to beat this one on this day, and I'm going to beat this one on the same day.
Yes. So
we know this. We've known for couple weeks. We're going to hear about it for another 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, Becky is starting to lose, or well, not even starting. Like,
she's already lost a lot
of her, a lot of her uniqueness. I'll say.
Yeah. Or just, I want to say heat, but not heat, but pop.
Yeah.
She gets the pop coming out.
She still gets, like, in this segment, I thought she had a really good response, but in weeks prior, it seemed like it was fading a little bit.
It does, because it's the same thing every week.
Yeah.
It's Becky 2 belts. I beat the baddest woman on earth, and I beat Charlotte Flair again.
It doesn't help that they've ignored the elephant in the room.
She didn't beat Ronda Rousey?
Yeah, of that whole match is that she beat Ronda, but her shoulder was up.
Yeah.
And that's kind of just ignored.
And then now Charlotte gets the title match because Becky didn't pin her. Well, you don't get a rematch.
Well, Charlotte, she beat Bayley for the match.
But she shouldn't even have the opportunity.
No.
And yeah, I'm said the O word.
Yeah.
But she shouldn't even have the match with Bayley.
No.
Because she just lost.
I don't care for Charlotte and Becky again.
We don't need it.
It's been enough. But
we've got all these women. Give them a damn chance.
Well, that's what they're doing on this side with Lacey.
Well, it's not really a chance because they're not going to give her the belt. I wouldn't think. Not right off top.
Crazier things have happened.
And they have. Look at Paige.
Oh, yeah.
She debuted and won.
If Jinder Mahal can win the world title, anyone has a chance.
If a 10-year-old can win a tag belt.
Yes, exactly.
Anybody has a chance.
Yeah, so that's a whole different issue. Like the whole other thing is though, like if it's not Lacey Evans, who the hell else does Raw even have?
Well, you have to build your people up. You can't just bring somebody in and go, you're going to be the next number one person.
No, I agree with that sentiment.
I mean, I understand, like, a few years ago when they did it with Drew McIntyre. He was the chosen one. That was his character.
Yeah.
That played perfect.
Well, that's part of Lacey's character, too. She's currying favor. She's doing sexual favors to the McMahons to get title matches.
Well, I thought that's how she got onto TV. but I mean, okay, give the new girl a title shot, fine. You don't give her you're not going to give her the belt, I wouldn't think.
Hopefully not.
But then you flip the script and you got Charlotte, who's in every fucking title match every month.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's the point?
Really got both sides of the coin there.
Yeah.
The pushing someone too early and then the won't go away.
I mean, you got how many women are on the roster? A few dozen that we don't see.
Oh yeah, a good bunch.
Start pushing them. You don't have to push them on TV all the time. You can push them in live events and show just clips of that throughout the week on Facebook, on WWE.com, on YouTube. Show clips of that and build the characters and the women up, and then people will actually want to see them on Raw or SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of, oh, well, I've never heard of her. Or, oh, it's just Charlotte. Who cares? She's going to be in the title match again. Going to ruin another match for us. See,
to be fair, Charlotte and Becky will be a good match, as they always
I've seen it so much.
Yes.
It's not going to be a good match. Because I've seen it so much.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
In a way.
The match itself, yes. Will always be good.
In a vacuum.
But,
I mean.
Yeah, but, I mean, once you've seen it 3 times, or 4, or 12...
Yeah,
anything more than that, it's not good. It's just boring.
It's really since last SummerSlam.
Yeah.
When they had the triple threat match with Carmella was where...
Imagine that, a triple threat that Flair was in.
That's where all of this began.
Yeah.
And it hasn't ended since. Becky talks about defending both the titles at Money in the Bank, and Becky challenges Lacey to the ring. They have a pull-apart brawl at the end.
Which... didn't even care about that because there wasn't even any good hits in there.
No, it was mostly just pulling.
Yeah. Come here. Don't you come here.
No, the referees that pull them apart are never very good at their job.
I know. Well, why would you even send a ref down there to pull them off there? It's like, hey, go down there and pretend to do something.
These 7 people cannot restrain this one person.
Or 2 women.
Yeah.
These 7 or 8 guys, men, former wrestlers for some of them. Like Finley and Noble.
I was going to say Dean Malenko, but I forgot that he just quit.
Yeah, and then that one ref that's got some big old arms. I don't know his name, but you know who I'm talking about.
Probably.
Dark hair, he's really tan.
Yeah.
He's like, looks like the Hulk in a referee shirt.
It looks like the Orange Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And you're telling me he can't hold on to one female by the leg so they can't run? I mean, come on.
After this, we had the Revival versus Hawkins and Ryder match.
Now, this is what I've been waiting for.
Oh, I noted it.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay.
But first we have I noted first. I don't think this is what you were gonna wait for, but Riders and Hawkins have new theme music.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, they have different theme music.
Oh. And
it's just some basic ass beats instead of the O radio. And I'm assuming the reason for that, I'm not sure if that's... I think that song is by Jim Johnston.
I don't know, but that was just for Zack Ryder, though.
Yeah. But they used it as a team, too.
Yeah.
So,
but maybe...
maybe they just have that music as a team, and maybe Ryder will still have his...
That's what I'm thinking.
Radio music.
But now that they're champions, they need their own music.
But I actually think that they just wanted to get rid of... They want to get rid of Johnston's stuff because he doesn't work there anymore, and they want to get what is it, CFOs, CFO dollar, whatever it is.
Yeah,
they want to have their stuff in there.
And I get that, but I mean,
except for they're never going to change the classics like Undertaker, Stone Cold,
no, but
Mr. McMahon. Even that's all Johnston stuff.
Yeah, but...
And in my opinion, his stuff is miles better than CFO's stuff.
I think it just depends who it is, what star it's for, what song it is.
Yeah. But Johnston has so many classics.
But Ryder, that's been his song for his whole career.
Yeah.
You don't want to take somebody's music after a decade and go, well, he don't work here, we don't want his music, you got to find something different.
Mm-hmm.
After 10 years, I tell you to kiss my fuzzy white ass. It's my song. It's my theme. That's what people know me. They know it's me when they hear that.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't sit there and you wouldn't change the Undertaker's gong hit, would you?
Nope.
Exactly. Why? Because that's what people know him for.
The gong, the glass shattering for Steve Austin.
Yeah. Can you smell what the Rock is cooking? Would you get rid of that?
Nope.
And just play his music? No.
I don't think Vince is going to change his music anytime soon, and
I like his music though.
And that's a Jim Johnston
song, and I like it. I want to get it as my theme song, or my ringer on my phone. No chance I'm going to answer
it. So, Dawson got chance of shave your back throughout this match
because of what we talked about earlier.
Yeah, and it was actually funny because. Matthew of Botchamania, the guy that makes Botchamania.
Yeah, I've watched a couple of them.
Yeah, he posted on Twitter, and it was just like, well, I'm pretty sure he already did shave his back.
Yeah.
Like that was the whole point of the earlier promo.
But because I don't know why I saw this, I'm going to make you see it mentally.
Okay.
Don't ask me how. But there was a long ass hair on the back of his back that they missed shaving.
Really?
Yeah, it was up towards his shoulder. You could just one hair just sticking up. And I don't know why.
I'm glad you noticed.
But the light caught
material.
it. The light caught it just right, and it was like, oh my god, they totally missed one.
Well, when the Usos interrupt, you might lose focus. You might miss a little bit.
I hope they didn't, cut each other or shave it.
All right, and now we'll get to what you want to talk about.
Oh, can I say it?
Because how did this match finish?
Ryder wins with a wait for it,
roll up
again. Every match they've won has been with a roll-up.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they have beaten the Revival 3 times with a roll-up.
Yes.
At WrestleMania, the Raw after Mania, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, didn't they beat them before WrestleMania? And that's why they were in...
No. They just got inserted into the match.
Okay.
Because remember, Hawkins had the losing streak. That was his first win at WrestleMania in however long.
Oh, that's right. So, yeah, they'd be 3 times with a roll-up.
Yeah.
Come on! Now, don't get me wrong. If this is how they're going to do it, where they're going to win every match with a roll-up, okay, fine. I can get behind that. Because
and those are the only matches they've won, by the way.
Yeah.
Against the only matches they've won are against the Revival.
Yeah.
Like, they lost to the Viking Raiders in that 8-man tag or whatever.
What was the Viking Experience back then?
Yeah, back in the day when they were still the Viking Experience.
Back when they were still a boy band.
Yeah.
Or a ride at Disney World.
Yeah. And that was not the only roll-up on this show.
We got one more.
And I'm going to vent about the other one myself.
Although,
when we get to
the next one isn't a roll-up, but close to it. And I consider it a roll-up.
It was a damn roll-up.
No, it was a crucifix pin.
Well, that's what this was.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember exactly. I just remember it was a roll-up. I actually paid attention to the one.
I don't remember if the next one was a crucifix.
I do, because I remember seeing it. Now,
well, wasn't it just he stacked him up?
No, because he actually had his, he had his legs out one side, and he was going this way with, Joe's shoulders.
Okay.
So that was a crucifix, but if the other one was...
Yes, this was too, because...
Okay, but still a roll-up.
Actually, I forgot to mention this, too, because I think they made the finish... They alluded... I'm not sure if it was said on commentary, but they alluded that, at least to me, that the reason Dawson got rolled up was because his back was shaved. Because there's like a collision towards the ropes, and Dawson falls into a pin, like back on Ryder, I think it was. And that's when Ryder rolls him up into the crucifix position.
Yeah, he just kind of like rolled
because
over.
It was like he was... I think what they were going for is that because Dawson's back is shaved, it is easier for Ryder to slide him into position for a roll-up.
Okay, I wouldn't have even gone that far in depth.
That's some next level thinking, right?
That is, and
I feel like Cole made a snide remark about it. I could be wrong, but I think he mentioned something about that possibly being a reason for that.
I can see that. I can see him playing that in the storyline, though.
Yeah.
As a way to get yet another match that we don't need to see because it'll end in yet another roll-up.
I don't understand what the hell is going on with the Revival. They lost their titles at Mania.
I think they're using them like just as jobbers until their contract's up because they won out.
I know. And now they're into a program with the Usos too.
Yeah. And
so they're losing to Hawkins and Ryder, and they're probably going to lose to the Usos too.
Well, if you lose to Hawkins and Ryder, you're going to lose to Usos.
Yeah. So who the hell knows?
I mean, it's ridiculous. Every week, roll up, roll up, roll up.
So at this point, we're about 2.5 hours in to this Raw, and it's a very run-of-the-mill, average sort of show.
Typical crap show.
And I'm sure it's even worse because you didn't like the Firefly Funhouse stuff. I at least had that I liked.
Yeah, you at least had that. I mean, on this card, I really didn't have a whole lot I liked.
Yeah. So then...
Even the Alexa Bliss match sucked.
This was hilarious, though, because WWE had the balls, the utter gall, to 2.5 hours into this shitty Raw show. They send Sami Zayn out to tell us why we all suck.
Yeah.
And I get that that's his gimmick. And I'm not being worked into a shoot here or anything. But I think that is such a dick move.
Well, that's no different than coming out, hour 6 of a 7-hour pay-per-view and go, hey, 7-minute dance.
Yes. Yes. It is. I think it's purely on purpose.
Oh, it is.
Because there is. I've never seen a business that belittles its fans as much as WWE does.
Or
it's like they want to make fun of you because you watched their products,
and because they know that you're going to tune in again.
Yeah.
I wish for just 1 week nobody on this planet watched WWE.
Well,
just for 1 week.
They're getting there because we're seeing record-breaking ratings declines, and
but yet
the week before last, which was the one I didn't watch, was when they had the highest drop-off rates from hour 1 to hour 3.
Yeah,
because they lost like almost 1 million viewers from the start to the finish.
Yeah, and now they're talking about breaking records because they're I think it's WrestleMania 37 in LA.
Yeah, that's where it's supposed to be.
The new stadium that's being built or something.
Yeah.
Or whatever stadium's out there is supposed to hold more than the AT&T Stadium.
Well, they have the LA Coliseum. I know.
Whatever it is supposed to hold more than what they did in Texas when they had 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be bigger than that.
Okay.
So, and they're already talking about breaking records.
Actually, I think they are making a new stadium there in LA too. They have the LA Coliseum, but I think they're making a new one too.
Yeah, because I remember them saying a stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking football.
Yeah.
I don't know who's in LA anymore, if it's Rams or Vikings.
They have the Rams and the Chargers.
They got two?
Yeah.
How the hell one city get two teams?
Well, New York does too.
But it's New York. They deserve it.
Yeah, but LA is that same sort of market.
No, I know.
And
here we are in North Carolina. We have to split our team with South Carolina.
Yeah, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, right now both of them use the LA Coliseum, but they're building a separate stadium for the Chargers, I think.
So that must be the one that they're talking about.
Yeah.
Because whichever one it is getting the Super Bowl that year.
Right.
And that's why they want WrestleMania there too, that year.
Yeah.
So expect them to go, record-breaking numbers, blah, 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 102,000 or whatever.
And that's a whole 2 years from now, because they have the one in Tampa first.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean...
nothing's official with that yet.
No, but...
But they've been heavily reported that that's where they're going to go.
Well, from what I read, they wanted it there in, 2022.
Yeah.
But because the Super Bowl's going there in 21, they wanted this WrestleMania to be there as well. Mm-hmm. Which you can't argue with that. If you have the Super Bowl, why would you not want the WrestleMania there? That's the Super Bowl of wrestling.
Yeah.
In one stadium in the same year within 2 months.
Yeah.
You know what the economy's going to be like for that? It's going to be crazy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a big payday for them.
I mean, if they do it that way, props to WWE for doing it like that.
Yeah. But I mean, we have the real WrestleMania next month with the Saudi Arabia show.
Oh, yeah. The tech support show.
I hate you for that. Well, yeah, so Sami Zayn comes out.
Moving on.
Sami Zayn comes out, and they put... He talks about psychological entitlement. And...
it's honestly getting harder to listen to him.
Look, and it's a shame because he's doing a great performance in all of these promos.
Yeah.
But they're all the same thing.
Exactly. That's what it is.
And it has been since the night after Mania.
Yeah.
And it was cool then, and it was cool the week after. But then...
now we're 2 weeks after that.
Yeah, now we're 2 weeks after that, and... it's just, okay, well, do something else.
Yeah, I mean...
I get it. I suck. I smell. I have a small penis. Whatever else you want to tell me, Sammy.
I mean,
if
you don't like it, don't come out here. I mean, it's that simple. Don't come out and belittle the fans. Just don't go out there.
Yeah.
Especially 2.5 hours.
There needs to be more substance to the Sami Zayn
There needs to be any substance.
Yeah. Right now, all I know is that he doesn't like the people that buy his the tickets and all that stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't like the people that pays his salary. Like it or not.
I did like the story though that he told about the story he told was that he was at the airports and that a dad and his kid were there, and like the dad is like pushing his kid over there, like a 5-year-old or 6-year-old or whatever he said, to ask him, son, ask him. And so he asks him to sign his action figure, and Sammy says no. And he says that the kid bursts into tears and goes running into Dad's arms, and that fed into his whole psychological entitlement, because he was like, that kid at 5 years old has already been exposed to this entitlement that I owe to, that I am obliged to sign his action figure.
But in a way, he's got a point, because think about it. And I'm not saying everybody, but some of the diehard fans that follow wrestlers, like, we'll meet them at airports and hotels to see something signed. I see his point, because they feel like they're entitled or owed an autograph.
The funny thing is that a lot of people, and they don't like Sasha Banks, because she's publicly talked about how there have been fans that call the airports, and they use like her real name and say that they're a family member and they need to pick her up and they need to know what time she lands, and that's how they get there, and they wait for her to land at 4:00 in the morning or whatever.
Wait at the hotel for her
and ask if you can sign this. Yeah, and there was like a video where she's like with her husband going to a hotel, and there's like a crowd of people trying to talk to her, and she just ignores them.
You can't blame her.
Yeah, they're people too.
I mean, look, if you want an autograph, go to the show. If you want an autograph, and they have meet and greet.
Yes, there are plenty of meet and greets.
I mean, there's a meet and greet in every city almost every month.
Yeah,
I mean, wherever wrestling's at, there's a meet and greet.
Yes.
And you can find some big name people there, retired and current.
Undertaker even had a meet and greet in London.
Yeah, it was like $18,000 or something like that just to get him there.
Well, that's a whole different story, because he was supposed to have a Q&A with Inside the Ropes, but WWE put the kibosh on that.
Yeah, as soon as I guess he signed a new contract, he said, "Oh, nope, you ain't doing it."
Yeah, but they fought and allowed him to still do the meet and greets.
Yeah,
because people already paid a lot of money to go to those shows.
And not only would that look bad on him, it would look bad on the company if they pulled him out of it. Yeah, because then they'd have to do refunds. And then whoever booked him wouldn't use anybody from WWE again. Yeah. But I'm sorry, but if you're going to find out what hotel I'm staying at, and you're going to be there at 4 a.m. when I get in after working that night and taking a plane ride and a cab or whatever to get there.
I'm sure it's tiresome.
Oh, I'm sure. And you want to sit there and beg me for an autograph? Bitch, get a ticket. I don't think so.
Sasha is very easy to recognize, too.
Well, yeah.
Because of her hair.
If it wasn't for that, she might get away with a lot. Or she'd get away with not being seen a lot. Yeah. Or even if she put a hoodie up with her hair inside of her hood, where you just can't see it.
Yeah. I'm sure there's plenty of tricks.
But it's not like, Braun Strowman. You can't hide.
No, there's no way.
But who's gonna run up to him and beg for an autograph? And please, can I have an autograph before you whoop my ass? Please don't step on me.
There was do you remember the story with Braun that got him heat a couple years ago? Because
remind me.
I'm fuzzy on the details, but he was at a bar, I think, and someone, and he didn't know who it was at the time, obviously, but she said that her son or something like that is a fan of his, and asked him if they wanted to sign something, and that I think it was that it ended up being Karen Jarrett, is it now? Jeff Jarrett's wife, that used to be Angle's wife.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, but it ended up being her, and Braun didn't know, so he was a dick to her, and so Karen relayed that to Kurt Angle, who was working with them with WWE then.
Oh, okay.
Because Jeff wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
So that got him heat at some point. It was something along those lines.
I remember something like that. No.
I might be off by a little bit. And I'm not sure if it was Karen herself or someone that was related to Karen or anything like that, but I'm not entirely sure.
You're entitled to somebody owes you an autograph.
Yeah.
When you didn't wait in line for it. You're not paying for it. It's their off time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's my off time.
Well, it's different though if they're a dick about it.
Well,
because
you may not be a dick about it, but once you get harassed enough, you're gonna be.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
And especially if you're at a bar and Braun is drinking.
Well, I'm just thinking like Bayley. She's a happy-go-lucky person.
Yeah.
But if you pester her enough every day or two for autographs, she's gonna get to the point of resent people and be a dick.
Do you remember the Randy Orton one too? Well, actually, there's plenty of Randy Orton ones.
I saw one of him doing a selfie in a bathroom.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Because he's in the bathroom this picture is everywhere.
Yeah.
He's in the bathroom washing his hands, and the picture is taken at the exact right moment.
Yeah.
Because the moment the picture is taken is when he looks up and realizes that there's a kid behind him with a cell phone taking a picture of him with what I assume is probably his dad standing right next to him.
Yeah.
As if this is okay, he's allowing this. And Orton just has this shocked look on his face. It's just the perfect in the moment picture.
Well, it's one of those. That's one of those places that you should be safe.
Yeah,
you're in the bathroom.
The fucking bathroom.
You're
washing his hands.
You're trying to do your business. Why would you have to worry about? Why should you have to worry about somebody wanting an autograph or a picture? Let me get out the shitter.
And he didn't even ask. He just took the picture.
And that's another thing. They need to ask these people.
Yeah.
They need to get permission. Hey, can I take a picture? Hey, would you take a picture with me? Can I get an autograph? Or, hey, it's not, hold on, click, click, snap, snap, snap. No, ask them.
That's what happened with Seth and Becky not long ago, too.
Are they together?
Yeah, because they're supposedly dating, and someone, took pictures of them
before they were out.
At a movie or a concert or something.
I read something about that. I don't know where.
I saw the pictures. They were clearly together in that.
I think I did. I think I saw them too. They were room around it.
But it goes to the same thing that someone's just snapping pictures of them. And Rollins actually tweeted a couple days ago. He just said that, believe it or not, there used to be a time where everyone did not have a camera in their hands at all times.
And you know what? I mean, could you imagine the wrestlers nowadays wrestling back in the day? Say just in the early 90s, before the internet, before cell phones.
Yeah.
All you had was cameras, actual cameras. Or, people would take your picture, but you didn't have everybody in the audience that had a camera.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, could you imagine how they'd react today about, no one's taking my picture? There's only 12 people taking my picture instead of 1,200.
Or if you put some of the old school guys in today's environments.
Oh my God, that's why they retire.
They'll probably, a lot of them would probably fight some of them.
That's why most of them are retired alcoholics. No offense to any of them, but come on, I mean, you can only take so much before you got to drink.
Yeah.
Or smoke, or whatever your vice is. But I don't know, it just rubs me the wrong way. People just think they're so entitled for a celebrity to give them something.
Yeah.
I'd love an autograph, but I'm not going to go harass somebody.
If I met someone that I really wanted to meet, I wouldn't even ask for an autograph. I just want to
say hi.
I'd just say hi and say that I appreciate your work.
At WrestleMania, I passed right by Michael Cole.
Yeah.
I could have probably talked to him, but, I mean, at WrestleMania, he's busy.
And how was it that you saw him?
I was just coming back from concessions, and right there coming out of the tunnel into the stadium is where a lot of the people were sitting, and that's where he was going.
Yeah,
it's right there where the Miz and Shane ended the match. Right, that's where they were sitting before. I guess when he wasn't on the air.
Yeah,
when it was SmackDown.
Because that was, I think, was that during the. Or no, that would have been during the tag match, the women's tag match.
That was the women's tag match.
Okay.
Because that's the only full match I missed.
Yeah.
Bastards.
Were they not doing? He wasn't doing commentary for that match.
He couldn't have been if I saw him. Well, no, he could have been because when I came back, it was already into the Daniel Bryan and Kofi.
Okay, so maybe.
So he might have just got done calling that match.
Yeah, that's right.
And he might have been coming back to take care of whatever business. Yeah, I could have stopped him and said, "Hey, how you doing?" Try and shake his hand, but that's just rude.
Yeah.
One, he's working,
especially when he's working.
But I mean, one, yeah, he's working, but two, it's not the right time.
Yeah.
There's a time and place for that, and if I could afford it, I would have went to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the meet and greets.
Yeah.
Just leave the people alone. Let them perform, entertain you. They're not required to give you anything. They can be a dick to you. Get over it. You don't like them? Fine. You want to meet them? Purchase it. Not hard.
Yeah. This went in a different direction.
Oh, yeah, it did. Way different.
Yeah.
I don't even know how the hell we got to here.
Yeah.
But
I think we're going to have to start running through things because we're at 2 hours and 10 minutes now.
Shit. Yeah, we still got a whole other show.
So, we had Joe versus Mysterio. Ray wins with the damn roll-up.
Roll up!
And I am so damn tired because I've seen the same finish 15 damn times with Samoa Joe where he gets rolled up, he gets stacked up, sometimes out of the coquina clutch, he somehow gets rolled up, and then he gets the 1, 2, 3, and then they cut to Samoa Joe, and he has this angry, astonished face. Oh my god, how did that happen?
Every week.
And I'm so damn tired of it. And then we get the main event.
Although I would like to see Joe and Mysterio for the belt. I'd like to see Mysterio win the belt.
Maybe.
Not the heavyweight, but the US. Or the IC, depending on what brand he's on.
I would like Samoa Joe to continue to hold it, but now there's like no point.
You said there's another match. And I don't have that match written down.
No, there's no more matches after that. This is the last segment.
Oh, okay. You said the main event. I thought you meant the match.
Yeah. Michael Cole coordinates a contract signing with AJ Styles and Seth Rollins.
Is this anything new?
Yeah, but AJ mentions the similarities between himself and Seth, but Seth will never be the next AJ Styles. AJ plays the full heel here. And he brought up how he doesn't have his Shield guys anymore to help him. And I thought we were going for Gallows and Anderson coming in with AJ. Because AJ said something about doing unexpected things to get the Universal title or whatever. So I thought that might be the direction. But it was not. And he questions how much Seth has left after he worked so hard to get the Universal title. He scratched and he clawed, and he was able to beat Lesnar, but now does he have anything left after that?
He just got put through the ringer by Lesnar. You think he can't take out AJ Styles?
AJ promises to be standing over Seth as the new Universal Champion before he signs the contract. Seth also signs. Rollins and AJ get in each other's face. Rollins holds up the title. AJ ends up attacking Rollins. Punching him in the face. Rollins fights him off initially, but the show ends with AJ doing a phenomenal forearm through the table. I don't know if this was a full-on heel turn, but AJ certainly is playing the heel for this feud.
I think it's just going to be for the feud.
Yeah.
He still gets too big of a pop.
Yeah.
And not enough heat.
He was definitely in his element of when he was heel the last time.
But he does a good heel.
Yeah, I prefer him as a heel, really, but the problem is that when you make him a heel, people like him too much, and then you have to turn him back face.
I mean, that's what happened to Becky. That's what happened to Strowman.
All right. You want to run through this SmackDown real quick?
Well, apparently I'm missing something. Because I've only got 4 matches.
I had 7.
What? They have never done 7 matches on SmackDown.
On SmackDown. I thought you meant Raw.
No, SmackDown.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You said I was missing one. I said I had 4 matches. You said you had 5.
I'm pretty sure you said that for Raw, though.
No, because I showed you. I said there's my notes for SmackDown, all 4 matches.
You definitely said Raw.
I think you're smoking something that I don't have.
we weren't on air, so I can't even confirm that. But I thought you were talking about Raw. Anyway, SmackDown, for some reason, Michael Cole's voice opens this show.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that he was part of the Superstar shakeup
They've done it before.
That never ends.
Yeah, every week somebody new changes rosters. Well, I guess it's true because on Raw, Lio Rush went to NXT.
Lio Rush went into obscurity.
And then on SmackDown, Alexander Wolf went to NXT UK. He got shipped across the pond because he can't be on TV here.
You don't got to go home, but you can't stay here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cole introduces Kofi Kingston. This beginning part was infuriating because Cole, kicking to video packages, is recapping the whole Kofi Kingston run.
Yeah. From
Elimination Chamber to Mania, the gauntlet in between, and all of that. And I'm just like, dude, we are in May now.
That was like so January.
Last week, Kevin Owens turned on them.
Yeah.
And we're not even talking about that right off the bat.
Exactly. Thank you.
And Kofi's out there throwing out pancakes. And Byron Saxton's on commentary. He said, Kofi's really putting on a brave face here tonight. Brave face? He's doing the same thing he does every week.
Yeah, he's just tossing pancakes by himself this time.
Oh, yeah. The same thing, -2.
Yeah.
But eventually, they get to the point of how Owens turned on Xavier and Kofi last week.
Yeah.
And Kofi, I liked everything from that point forward. That beginning part was just infuriating because it felt like it took 10 minutes to get to the point.
Well, it was probably like 15.
Yeah. So I liked that Kofi says that he takes the blame for the Owen situation and that a lot of people told him that he should have seen it coming, but that's part of his positivity thing, is that he wants to see the good in people.
Yeah. Well, hello, that's the opening intro to his song.
Yeah.
For the New Day.
Yeah. And so I like that character element there. Kofi ends up challenging Owens to a match at Money in the Bank for the title, so the champion challenged the challenger.
Which doesn't happen very often.
No, but I'm cool with it.
I just hope this isn't the end of Kofi Mania.
Yeah, I wouldn't think it would be. I think they'll let him go on for a little longer.
I think they should at least give him till SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Because, there's been too much of a build-up to it to let it go after a month.
Yeah, it's tough to follow the build-up, really.
Look at some of the other ones that's happened in the past.
Yeah. The one that it's compared to was the Daniel Bryan run when he won the title at 30. And Bryan, shortly after that, got injured, so we never saw what they were going to do with that, but supposedly the whole idea was that he was going to end up losing the title to Lesnar at SummerSlam. And because Bryan got injured, that's when they inserted Cena in that match.
Yeah.
And that was the match that Cena just got absolutely obliterated in.
Nothing but Suplex City.
Yeah. So really, the end of that was probably going to be the same thing, that Lesnar just obliterated Bryan.
But now that, according to Dana White, Lesnar's done with UFC.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's going to do for the landscape of the Universal title.
It's confirmed that, I think maybe it was Sports Illustrated, that they said that WWE, when they approached WWE for comment, they said that Lesnar is under contract with us, but obviously didn't give any specifics.
Yeah,
so,
there was no specifics, no matches, no nothing.
Yeah, I guess we can talk about that for a minute, is that...
I just hope they don't do what they did before and just give them the title and let them leave.
Yeah, but the whole deal with Brock and the UFC is that we haven't heard anything from Brock's side yet, but Dana White said that he considers Lesnar to be retired. And the report is that... Lesnar had a certain amount of money that he wanted guaranteed for him to have that match with Cormier, and White didn't want to do it. So
some godly unseen amount.
Well, I don't blame Lesnar, because at this point in his career, at 42 years old, I think he is, why would I want to go to UFC and get punched in the face and choked out unless I'm getting a major payday? Because I already have golden job, the best job in the world, really.
Well, if he's as good as he says he is, he wouldn't get choked out and punched in the face.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, why would you go? I'm not saying that he would lose or get choked out or whatever. I'm just saying that you'd go through that vigorous training to get in shape and the proper condition to do that, and then have to fight younger guys at the top of their game when you're in your 40s. I would want a lot of money for that when I'm still...
But there's one thing about wanting money, and there's another about being just greedy.
Well, it's more like... I think it's...
And we don't have enough info to tell the difference.
I think it's a thing of Lesnar doesn't want to go to UFC, but if they pay him enough, he will.
I think he uses them just to get more money out of Vince.
And I definitely agree with that.
Because he has yet to go back since threatening. Because...
Well, he had the one match.
Well, the one match, but he had permission to do it.
Yes.
But other than that, he has not gone back to UFC.
No, it's definitely leverage.
But it's to the point where, if you want to go back, go the fuck back then. Don't threaten me. Just go.
Well, I think that there is a lot of fear on Vince's behalf of losing him, because he's one of the last big draws. I feel like
we've got
is left.
I can name half a dozen part-timers that'd be glad to come in 3 times a year and do a match. Because that's all he really shows up is 3 to 4 times a year for a match.
Yeah, but they might not have the same effects.
No, but they might have better. Don't know until you try it.
Well, I don't know. It depends.
I mean, it all depends on who.
I don't think there's many left, really.
I could probably name about maybe half a dozen. Not saying they'd be willing to, but I'm saying they'd be able to.
Yeah. But that Brock is just, he's at the point in his career, he's gonna be smart with all this.
He just needs to stay at home on the ranch and go hunting with Stone Cold, drink some beer, and just chill.
Yeah.
You're 42 years old. You don't need to hold a belt ransom from the company and the people that watch it.
Why are you still mad at this?
Because it pisses me off.
He's not even champion anymore.
But the fact that he's still employed tells me he's gonna be.
Well, he was employed for 6 years before that and had the WWE title once.
Yeah, but look what happened this last time he had it. He was gone the whole fucking time. And that ruined the show.
Okay.
I watched that show. I want to be entertained. I'm not entertained when my heavyweight champion never shows up.
So we have Rollins now. Was this show any better?
I'm not saying the show was any better, but it wasn't Rollins' fault. I liked his comeback to AJ Styles when AJ said that, it's the house that AJ Styles built. And he said, no, this is Monday Night Rollins. I like that. But you can't put everything on him. I don't put the bad shows on Brock. Just having no title to fight for.
Yeah. I agree that he doesn't need to be champion, but I think that's a separate issue from him wanting to get the most money he can, because that's what everyone is going to do.
Well, yeah, but sitting there and go, well, if I don't get this, I'm going to UFC. Don't sit there and threaten. Just either do it or don't. Don't give in to him. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If he's that big of a draw, then how come he didn't make that big of a difference? The ratings haven't changed much since he's been gone.
Well, they've went down.
Well, of course they go down. It's that time of year, though.
Yeah, but this is record lows at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that has anything to do with Lesnar.
No.
Because it really doesn't.
And even according to Vince McMahon, the low ratings lately, he believes, is because of all the injuries and absences.
Which, baloney.
Which I agree is baloney, because there's not many people out with injuries and absences.
Well, no, there's a lot, but it's
the stories.
Yeah, you can still make stories, but
there is no stories.
Yeah.
He needs to watch his own damn network from the late 90s and so to see how stories are done again. Because obviously Alzheimer's had kicked in and he forgot.
All right.
All right, let's get through this. We're
Yeah.
going to run out of time on our show.
Yeah.
And it's our show. We're going to lose time. I mean, it's sad.
Yeah. But I didn't expect to go there.
Yeah.
But somehow Lesnar always comes in.
Every time.
Anyway.
I blame you.
You just have to take things so personally.
Only that. And a few other things.
Yeah, Owens comes out after this whole thing, the Kofi promo and all that. He accepts Kofi's challenge, but Xavier Woods blindsides Owens, and Owens ends up still laying out Woods with a super kick, and Kingston runs up the ramp, but Owens scurries away to the back.
And I still wish they would have kept it going for a while.
Yeah.
Because to me, it would have had more of an impact on the audience.
If it were up to me, I would have not done this segment at all and just had how they close the show, open the show.
Really?
And, yeah, or keep it as the close, but only do that.
See, I wouldn't have even had last week happen yet.
Well, no, I agree with that, but I'm just dealing with the hands that have been dealt.
Gotcha.
We had Bayley versus Becky Lynch, which this match was well,
I'm just saying there was no point to it.
Well, essentially, yes, but I was going to say it was the best match on TV this week, which isn't a high bar, but it was. I wish it would have went longer, but it was really good.
Yeah, I mean, and it's sad that I have to say this, but you're right. It's the best match of the week on both shows.
Yeah.
And that's so sad because...
Just on Raw and SmackDown, at least.
Well, yeah, on the two shows that we cover.
Yeah.
But it's sad because it wasn't even that good.
No. And, well, it was good. It just wasn't like a long match.
Yeah, it wasn't in-depth.
And a lot of it was in the shrink screen during the commercial. So.
And that's another part. You know, if you're going to show me a match, show me the match. I don't want to see a little bit of screen up here in the corner watching a commercial and I can't even hear what's going on.
Yeah.
Don't even show it to me. Just show me the commercial so I can get back to the real show.
I hope when AEW starts doing TV that they have commercials not during the matches, at least as much.
Yeah, I mean, I know sometimes it's hard to have a commercial
because you have to have your commercials.
Yeah,
and that's how you afford to do this.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's not. But it's not your money or my money that pays for this.
Yeah.
It's the sponsors.
But I think that there can be better placements.
That's it. Better placement.
After this, we have the Hardys in an in-ring interview,
which I did not know he got injured.
Oh yeah.
I don't know where I've been. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, so Jeff injured his knee. He's going to be out however long, 6 to 9 months.
Total right knee replacement.
Wow.
6 to 9 months from what I read.
So they interview Jeff and Matt, and this infuriated me too. Because the interviewer, I don't know who it was.
Is that the blonde chick?
It was Renee Young 2, I'm pretty sure.
The blonde chick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She asked Jeff what happened, and Jeff says, "It's probably easier if I just show you." And he points up to the Titantron.
And he said that.
And
he
said that so unconvincingly.
Well, yeah, but then after I watched it,
you still didn't know.
Still didn't know what happened.
Because it didn't show what happened. It showed a Lars Sullivan video package.
Yeah.
Where it didn't even start with him taking out Jeff. It was him taking out Angle and Truth and Ray, and then Jeff and Matt.
Yeah, and still nothing happened to his knee.
Yeah.
So what the hell happened?
I don't know, but I'm assuming it wasn't that. But
it couldn't have been that.
No.
Because I rewound it and actually watched the replay in slow motion like 4 times. Because I was looking at that knee and looking, okay, did it hit wrong? Did it land wrong? Did it get turned sideways? Something.
Yeah.
And nothing. So disappointed. I still don't know what happened to him.
But my point with that was just that the staginess of Jeff saying, "Why don't I just show you?"
Yeah, it just... Come on.
Because every wrestler now has control of the production team.
Yeah.
So,
whatever. But production don't know how to show you the right videos, apparently. Because I don't know what happened.
The Hardys announced they will have to vacate the titles.
And that sucks.
It's unfortunate, but
it is,
especially the main thing is that SmackDown has no damn tag teams.
Yeah, no.
Like
now they have no champion.
This tag team division is like
it's on Raw.
Yeah. They have the Colognes,
still
Rusev and Nakamura, which is Rusev and Nakamura is probably the most credible team they have.
That's the sad part.
And they have heavy machinery too, but
they haven't used them.
Yeah, but
they have.
It doesn't seem like they should just be put right in the titles. So
why not? Lacey Evans was.
I think they're gonna have Rusev and Nakamura win it. Because that's like the only team I could see winning it.
And I don't even like them as a team.
No, I don't either.
I never have.
They don't have any teams left. Like, they're going to have to make some.
I know. I mean, they took all the good teams to Raw.
Yeah.
And gave us, like, nothing.
Yeah. So, after this, Lars Sullivan comes out again. Jeff tries to hide in the corner, but he can't get out of the ring on his own. So, Matt tries to defend everything, but he ends up getting beaten up. And then Jeff is going to try to fight Lars with his crutch.
I saw that and I was like, why would you wait until he's facing you to hit him? Why wouldn't you hit him when he's not facing you?
Because he can't walk.
Take his leg out. God, I worked in the Karate Kid.
That's when R-Truth comes in with a chair shot to the back, which Lars Sullivan no-sells, and then...
I've seen some no-sells, but that's ridiculous. He didn't blink.
I didn't hate this.
I'm not saying I hate it, but I didn't like it.
Yeah.
He could have at least, something.
And then after that, shrug it off.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there was, like, no surprise.
I feel it, but it wasn't, it didn't hurt.
Not even that I feel it's, oh, damn, that scared me.
Yeah. Oh, where'd that come from?
Yeah, it's like, he was expecting it, and he showed it.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, ruined it.
Yeah, that kind of, jumped it, I guess, that it looked as if he was just expecting it to come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can get that. He punches the chair out of Truth's hands, which
we see all the time.
Yeah.
Big Show, Strowman, all the big people.
It's still a cool spot where you get, especially the way he punched it, because he actually just like punched this chair.
Did you watch the slow-mo
replay? Yeah, he punched this chair and dented it.
Yeah, and it was a real punch. I mean, he had his thumb out and everything. He wasn't going to break his thumb.
Then R-Truth sold this great, too. Like, Truth was really good here.
Did we ever say who won the Becky Bayley match?
No, Becky won. There you go. I'm trying to run through things.
I know. But you should at least tell the winners.
Yeah. Then Truth gets beat up. But did you catch what happened here? Because so Truth gets beaten up, and that's when Jeff escapes, right?
Yeah.
However, he did. And so after that, when Lars leaves,
Jeff's on the ground.
Jeff is laying on the ground.
Yeah.
Like he got
hit.
Yeah. So in kayfabe, I think that Jeff was playing dead so that Lars wouldn't see him.
Can you blame him?
Which I think is a good strategy.
But I saw that. I was like, what happened to Jeff? Did he, like, break his leg coming down the apron?
After this, they introduced the SmackDown side of the men's Money in the Bank match.
Yeah, blah, blah.
Which was just done with graphics and commentary.
And we'll see later.
Yeah.
Because, they have to copy and paste from Raw.
Yeah. So there was no Alexa Bliss announcing anything, but
sadly
we have Ali, Balor, Andrade, and Randy Orton, which is a very good class of wrestlers.
And
because
and a typical pre-pay-per-view tag match.
Yeah,
waiting to happen.
But I will say that like when they first announced the Raw side, like you had Strowman, Corbin, and McIntyre.
Yeah,
who. All three of them, big men, but they didn't. They weren't applying the work rate side of things yet, and so SmackDown applied that with Ali, Balor, and Andrade. I don't really care to see Orton in this match. I would have, because every Randy Orton ladder match, he's not going to do anything.
He's going to get one big RKO.
Yeah,
and that's it.
He's going to be the one catching the people flying off the ladder.
Yeah, but. I mean,
I would have rather, like, we still haven't seen Buddy Murphy yet. Like, I would have liked Buddy Murphy in this spot.
Or where's Aleister Black? Bring him out the shadows.
Aleister Black would have been a great choice.
I would have rather seen him in here than Orton.
Yeah. But I like Andrade in this match. I really hope he does win.
I really don't think Balor needs to be in here. I think being a...
No, because he's the Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, he should be having a championship
He doesn't
match.
need to be. Yeah.
Since when do you not have to defend your title?
Yeah.
I thought that was just a Lesnar thing.
We had Kairi Sane and Asuka, and that's part of that too, because Balor and Andrade were feuding.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll cancel each other out, and then they'll continue their feud for the IC title. We'll see.
Yeah.
We had Kairi Sane and Asuka beating a jobber team.
I just put two nobodies because I didn't even catch a name.
With the Iconics on commentary.
Poison Ivy's younger sister is what I heard.
Because the Iconics just made fun of everyone in this match.
I don't know. I think it was Peyton Royce.
Especially the jobbers. Like, they were, like, what was it?
Mac and cheese.
Yeah, and one of them was like the Little Mermaid.
Well, yeah, that was Poison Ivy's little sister, Ariel.
Yeah, Ariel, that's right.
Because she could pass us both. It was a waste of time and a waste of a match.
Yes. Nothing to this.
The only reason they were there is because it's Paige's tag team.
Yeah.
Although I did like the segment after that with Mandy Rose and Sonya.
Yeah, Mandy and Sonya have a backstage
I actually enjoyed that promo better than I did this match.
Yeah.
Because, just because it seemed real.
There was substance.
Yeah, it seemed real.
And Mandy comes to Sonya backstage, and she says that Shane told her that they'll be in the Money in the Bank match, but it'll only be one of them. And so Mandy starts doing the whole, I think it should be you, and then
psychology.
Yeah, Sonya says, I see what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
You're trying to ingratiate yourself so that I say, no, it should be you. And then she just says, but I actually do think it should be you.
Yeah. Which I think is cool. If that's how she really thought and not how she was told to say it, I think that's cool that, I think you deserve it.
Well, eventually Sonya's, I think, just going to turn on Mandy or vice versa.
I think they're setting it up for that.
Yeah.
And it could happen as early as this pay-per-view.
I really just want to see Sonya do something on her own, because in the little bits I've seen from her, she is very good.
She's good on her own, but when you get her teaming with Mandy,
she gets lost.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just she doesn't know what to do because there's so many people, so much stuff to remember, or she's just not a good tag team. But she does good on her own.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see more of her.
And in these segments, too, when they even allow her to, because she doesn't do a lot of speaking, but when she does, she comes across as genuine.
Yeah.
And, I think she could probably do a good promo.
And she doesn't show her emotions like Rousey did.
Yeah.
Because her promos sucked. Almost every one of them.
In some ways.
Well, just in the fact of her voice cracking or something like that.
Yeah.
But Sonya doesn't give me that picture of Rousey.
Mm-hmm.
She to me, she seems like a legit badass that isn't there just for a paycheck like Rousey was.
Well, that's a bit harsh.
It's a bit harsh, but that's how I feel. Because where is she now? Oh, well, she lost her belt. She was guaranteed a belt to sign a contract. She lost it, and now she's gone.
Chris, we don't have time to do this.
I know. I'm just explaining. And I explained it.
But now I have to tell you that you're wrong. And that Rousey loved the wrestling business.
I'm not saying she doesn't love the business.
Because she didn't have to go into wrestling at all.
I love the business. But that doesn't mean nothing.
We'll save this for another day. Because we're at
running out of time.
We're at 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Oh yeah.
And once we get past 3 hours, I have to make it 2 parts, and I don't want to do.
You don't want to have like a 5-minute 2-part.
Yeah. So Mandy gets the spot in the Money in the Bank match, and then we get Roman coming out, and apparently Roman versus Elias will be a thing at Money in the Bank. Yeah. That sounds like a snooze fest waiting to happen.
It sounds like a popcorn break.
Yeah. Roman says this is his yard now, blah, blah, blah. Shane McMahon comes out, and they're in Ohio, and So there's like the Ohio State connection.
Yeah.
And so Shane tries to get local heat, the sports team heat, by saying that he can't face Roman right now because he is flying to Michigan to meet Coach Harborough. And
Is that the Wolverines?
Yeah, the big butts.
Buckeyes and Wolverines?
Yeah, but the thing is that it's Coach Harbaugh.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Jim Harbaugh, not Harborough, as he
What's he
said.
thinking, a cigarette?
Jeez, I couldn't help but laugh at that.
Yeah, he said that, and I didn't know he was talking about it first. I've heard Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
But Harborough?
Yeah.
I didn't know who that was.
It's hard to get heat when the crowd probably didn't even know who he was talking
Yeah, you
about.
can get heat when you don't know what the hell you're doing.
Shane then introduces Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel for a handicap match.
B team, go.
Yeah.
Sorry, had to.
And they have a handicap match against Roman with the special guest enforcer, Elias.
Yeah, so pretty much it's a 3-on-1 beating with pinfalls.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I'm so tired of this Roman versus the Authority storyline because
we're not. Now we get to do it all over on SmackDown.
It's the same damn thing that we saw with him and Vince on Raw and whatever else. Like
same thing we saw with Daniel Bryan.
And they've done it more than once with
Yeah.
Roman because they did it back in like 2015 with Roman when he won the title off of Sheamus.
When the Shield first split.
Yeah, shortly after that,
Yeah.
when Roman first won the title.
Yeah, when he went off on his own.
So this is so played out, and how else would this match go? But the B team beat up on Roman forever. Elias gets his cheap shots in with the referee distracted, and so in this 3-on-1 match, the ref ends up being taken out, and so now Elias is the ref.
He gets drug out by Elias.
Yeah. He is drug out of the ring by Elias, and somehow he's knocked out for however long.
Yeah, because
by
that
just being
3-foot fall just knocked him unconscious.
Yeah. So now Elias is the ref. And there was a point where I don't know what move the B team hit, if it was their finish or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, it was a perfect plex that Axel did. And he has the pin, and Elias counts. And he doesn't even give a fast count. He gives a normal count.
I was actually impressed with the count.
And
because I didn't think he'd do it.
But Roman kicks out.
Yeah.
So Elias being the heel, I guess it was okay for him to step into the ring as the referee, but it would have been too immoral for him to give a fast count or just call for the bell anyway and say that it was a 3 count.
Well, like earlier in the match, when he was on the outside of the ring and he told the timekeeper, if I say ring the bell, you ring the bell.
Yes, I forgot about that too. Because they set that up and they never paid off on it.
Because he had him in like a headlock or a chin lock or something.
Yeah, there was nothing going on. And he says, remember, if I tell you to ring the bell, you ring the bell.
I thought he was going to ring it like right then and act like he gave up on a chin lock.
Yeah, so.
But they did nothing with it.
And then after all of this, Roman ends up taking out everyone. The big dog conquers the yard, and he lifts his leg up and urinates on all of them because he's the big dog. Woof, woof. And the ref regains consciousness.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, and Roman does a spear on someone, I'm sure, and got the pin.
Yeah, I don't know which one it was.
No, this was vomit-worthy.
Yeah.
We had the Ali and Balor against Andrade and Orton, the copy and paste of Monday, the 2 faces versus the 2 heels in the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah, I didn't even write down the winner because I didn't care.
So everyone enters except Andrade, and then Andrade and Vega come out, and Vega has a mic, and Vega cuts a short promo, but then she gives the mic to Ali, or not Ali, Andrade. And I've actually complained about it before when they had Andrade cut promos, and I was just like, why is Zelina Vega there if Andrade is going to cut the promos when he speaks... He speaks fine English, like you can understand him fairly well.
Understandable English.
Yes, but that's kind of why you have Zelina Vega there, is because he's can't...
not fluent.
Yes, it's his second language.
Yeah, or third or fourth.
Third, yeah, whatever.
But it's not good enough for him to speak in public.
Yes. So, but Then he completely changed my mind because this promo, he just simply says, Finn, I have no respect for you. Ali, I have no respect for you. And then he says, Randy. And Randy is his partner for this match. And he says, if you ever want to learn something, tag me in and I'll teach you.
Yeah.
Which was absolutely hilarious and great heel work. That he's going to say that to Randy Orton, who's however many times world champion, been there for like 14 years.
But as his manager, I think it would have been better coming from Zelina.
Yeah, Zelina could have said the same thing.
Because she could have said word for word what he did.
Yes.
And been, well, if you want to learn something, Randy, tag him.
That is true.
Andrade.
But I'll give Andrade credit because he did well there.
Yeah, I'll give him credit for that, but I think they should have stuck with Zelina.
Yeah. This was a quick match. I think most of it took place over the commercial.
Like most of SmackDown.
Yeah. Ali and Balor win, pinning Andrade. I think Ali got the pin with the 450.
Yeah, I remember 450.
The regular 450, not the inverted 450. Orton comes in and RKO's Balor, but Ali throws him out of the ring. So Ali was the one put over strong here.
Yeah.
Because he stands tall in the ends.
Yep.
And so the whole purpose of that is to make you think that he has a chance of winning.
Yep.
When in reality, the person that probably has the better chance of winning is the one he pins, Andrade.
In reality, Ali has no chance.
No chance. No chance in hell. This was the first win Ali's had in a while. Really.
Yeah. Well, it's the first match he's actually been able to compete all the way through without getting hurt.
That's a fair point. There's an interview with Ember Moon that Carmella interrupts about them being in Money in the Bank.
Mella is money.
Yeah, so that sets up the SmackDown side because I forgot to mention earlier that when Bayley came out for her match, she appeared on the graphic. So the SmackDown side is Carmella, Ember Moon, Mandy, Bayley.
Yeah.
Which that...
Of those four women, who would you choose? Just those four women.
If it's up to me, like I kind of like Bayley, but this match is very uninspired.
It is. Well, that's because
let's think of the names in this match. We have Alexa Bliss and Bayley are probably the most established at some point or another. Then there's Natalya, Dana Brooke.
Well, I don't know. Natalia's pretty established.
Yeah, but
for like 300 years.
Yeah, but she's never gonna win anything.
But she
really.
has.
Well, she won't at this point, probably.
No, probably not. But now she's just filler.
But you have Dana Brooke, Natalya, Naomi, Carmella. Ember Moon is promising. Mandy is there, and she'll probably win.
Mandy's got the blonde hair, and that's what Vince wants.
Yes.
So there's your winner.
Ding, ding. Kevin Owens has the Kevin Owens Show, which is supposed to be guest Xavier Woods.
I forgot about this.
Yeah. This was what closed the show.
Yeah.
Owens introduces Woods, who doesn't come out. So instead, Owens pulls out an Xavier Woods action figure.
Like an old school action figure, like a few years old. Not like a current one.
And he explains that it was easy to find with all the merchandise that New Day shamelessly shills out and promotes.
Yeah.
And he says that the Xavier Woods looks a little lonely, so he pulls out another action figure, and he has Big E with a cast around his leg. And he ends up just like kicking the chair over that they're sitting on.
It was almost too stupid to watch.
Yeah. And that's when badass Kofi Kingston finally came out with a serious look, stared at him at the top of the ramp for a second, and then came down and started to kick Owens' ass. And they brawl. Owens ends up, I think, raking Kofi's eyes.
Yeah.
And then he scurries away through the crowd.
But did you notice, and you know how I pick up on stuff? I pick up the weirdest crap. When Kofi took his shirt off, his arms are all shiny from baby oil or whatever. And he takes his shirt off, and his shirt has absorbed it. So now he just looks like somebody painted him with a doll paint, and he's got high gloss on his arms. It's just one of those weird things that caught my eye.
Oh, man. And that was this week's edition of Raw and SmackDown.
And then some.
Yeah.
All right.
There was a lot of extracurricular activity in this show.
And a lot of it had to do with you in the funhouse.
Yeah, but then you have to always get so butthurt about Brock Lesnar.
Screw Brock Lesnar.
Us Brock's got to stick together, man. Like
you don't even spell your name the same.
That's true, but still.
Where's your belt?
It's still at the WrestleMania
at the store.
Today, yeah, at the merchandise store.
I will take this minute to plug Fighting with My Family, Paige's movie,
because you watched it.
Because I did watch it, and it is a good movie for being based on a true story. Lena Headey's in it. If you don't know her, she's on Game of Thrones. Cersei. Don't know if you know her. That I don't know if you.
I don't watch Game of Thrones.
Okay. Well, I mean, so there is some bigger name people.
Yeah.
You do get a few cameos from wrestlers, of course, The Rock, because he was part of making it.
Yeah.
And then like a little glimpse of Sheamus and Big Show, and that's about all it. I mean, it's actually about her and her family.
Yeah.
So check it out. It's worth a watch. I'll plug it because it's wrestling related. Just like the Miz and Mrs.
Yeah. Which is on USA after SmackDown every Tuesday. In case you
I haven't watched this week, but last week sucked.
Did it?
Yeah.
What happened last week?
I think last week was when Maurice's mom went and bought like this paddle boat and put it in their pool. Because she doesn't like being in the water, but she wants to be in the water.
Okay, so that's the part that I saw in the commercial.
Yeah, we're going over,
and then like
because
Miz trips over a chair or something.
Oh yeah, that wasn't nothing. But yeah, they thought they were gonna go overboard over the edge of the pool in the boat. That's what you see on the commercial.
So have you been disappointed by that show overall, or?
Overall, I'd say yeah. I really have. It's not at all like I'd rather watch Total Bellas. Just because there's more in depth into there. It's Ms. and Mrs. is nothing but just shenanigans.
Right.
It's after commercials, it's like 21 minutes of shenanigans that means nothing.
Yeah, it's...
And I'm sorry, but I can't take much more of Maurice's mom because she lives with him. And it's just like, oh my God, somebody get a mother-in-law house and put it in the backyard for her. Yeah. But okay, that's it. That's all I'm plugging.
Reality TV, everyone.
Yeah, it really sucks.
I'm sure the producers were just like, Maurice's mom needs to be more colorful.
No. And it's bad enough you've got the Miz spying on her with cameras in the house when him and Maurice are out to eat. And I mean, he's sitting there talking to her mom through the camera system, and she butt-ass naked in the kitchen. Yes, I swear to God, she's butt naked in the kitchen. And then she starts dancing to get him to stop watching her. Yeah, I've been disappointed, and I probably won't watch more after this season. I'll finish the season because it's almost over.
Okay.
But I won't watch much more after that.
Well, you can tell the show is over because Chris just like walked away to put his chair away.
My legs hurt. I got to drink. I mean, we've been sitting a long time.
All right, so sorry we missed last week, but we're back.
And better than ever.
Better than ever.
And more obnoxious, too.
Yeah. But good show, though.
Yeah, long show. Good show.
Yeah, you thought this would be quick.
I really did because my notes were quick. I mean, I didn't realize you were so in love with Bray Wyatt's character.
Well, that wasn't all of this damn show.
No, it's not all of it, but it was a big chunk of the extra.
Yeah, and I told you going in that I would spend an hour on Bray Wyatt.
I didn't know you were actually literal going to spend an hour.
I don't think we spent an hour on that.
No, it was like 58 minutes.
All right, sign us off before we go over 3 hours.
Thank God. Until next week, we will wrestle you later.